crazy that he even like was tongue-in-cheek about it on his banner
so
here.
stupid.
God.
He's done the same thing both times.
Yeah, he
It's
did.
fucked. I have a lot to add because I obviously did a fuck ton of research into like, you know, his cheating in Rocket League and stuff like that. And I couldn't fit it in the video because it's not about that. So I like the new video style. Thank you. I'm actually really proud of it. So I'm going to let this play for a little.
This is Shimmy, Team Redshift member, very skilled Rocket League freestyler, and oh, sorry, I misread. The biggest cheater in Rocket League history, who 2 years ago now got exposed by members of his team for faking all of his best montages. He edited the replay files for his trick shots to just pretend that he hit stuff he didn't. Obviously, he was kicked from the community and stopped posting trick shotting videos. So why am I bringing all of this up? Because today we get to have a look at what a cheater does after they get caught.
Nice.
This is Shimmy, Team EXE member, aim coach, and very skilled aimer. At this point, he had been in the aim training community for about...
I really like the bit there of doing the same intro, exactly the same beat for beat. If anyone has seen Carl Jobs' video on the topic, he actually did the same thing. I don't think he like stole it from me or anything. I think it's just like a good hook, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the intro idea, I guess.
The original intro idea was like a few days before the cheating scandal occurred or like was exposed. We had just recorded the Raw Input podcast. And on that podcast, you're like, I wonder if there's anybody who's like cheating and we just don't know about it yet.
I mean, I said like, yeah, this will be a big scandal at some point because like it has in every other community like this.
Yeah.
I actually called it.
Okay, that's fair.
Do you say like time scale?
Yeah, slow it down.
Oh, that makes sense. I was thinking like cutting corners or something. Like
That's funny.
I'm a bit worried that like similar things have happened in aim training and we just haven't noticed.
I'm sure.
I want to say that like I think it would be harder here because your aim has to look human while cheating, but like we all know that can be done.
Maddie.
And Matthew's legit for sure. There are like no proof standards in this community though.
We were gonna do like the playback clip in like black and white or something, and then the Majora's Mask like 3 days later.
Oh my god, that would have been good, but I think this is better.
This is better for sure.
a year and a half and was a well-respected member of it. He gave advice to people in Discord servers.
Oh, this is so fucking funny. I'm sorry to pause so much. The screenshots in this video, if you pause and read them, paint him as like the worst person. It's so funny. I didn't want to be too mean in this video, but he was a massive dick to people. Just because a few people don't understand doesn't mean it's bad. I explained everything perfectly. If you tried it at least instead of watching the video, you'd understand that gliding is simply a better technique. New tech is just better in every way, and it's better if you it's better for you if you try it and put time into it rather than misleading people with 4-year-old static information. It's insane.
God.
Like he's just fucking flaming for no reason.
Heavens.
He is the revolutionary of aim training, pushing the old heads out. Oh my god. I could have been meaner. But when I was making this video, I was certain he was cheating, but I hadn't got a confession. So like there was a chance that he was actually legit in aimtrainers and owned me. It was like 0.0001% chance. It was so low I was willing to make the video. And I did get a confession before posting it just to be sure. But, you know, just in case. This was just someone saying like shimmy tech is kind of bad.
They also don't use the same tech.
No, they don't.
All
That's a
three
lie.
players.
Coming from the Rocket League community and getting an training. When was this actually? I'm curious because people did know about his past in Rocket League, but not the extent of it. And he said that he actually was on like good terms with the Rocket League community, which I think is a lie. So
is created very commonly referenced and praised aiming advice videos and offered paid coaching. However, he only really played aim trainers, not the things you're usually meant to be training your aim for, first-person shooters. This isn't actually as uncommon as you might think. Even though aim trainers were made with the specific intent of practicing, it's taken on a whole...
This is funny. That guy commented on the video. This guy, Ditko. He's like, I was watching this and saw myself.
This is a while ago too.
Yeah, this is an old clip, 2023.
That's really cool.
He was good at talking down here, making you feel a bit stupid, which really helped him be more believable for a while. I noticed that when reading his messages too. He definitely was really like condescending. There was this like air of superiority. I don't want to psychoanalyze too hard, but I definitely agree with you that like people didn't really question him because he just talked like he knew so much. There was never any like, you know, potential for him to be wrong, right? In his video, it's like, flicks suck. Objective statement, you know, like, and a very controversial objective statement. I will probably come back to that later.
Of practicing, it's taken on a whole new role for a lot of people as something adjacent to speedrunning. They're surprisingly addictive, and the satisfaction of continually seeing your high scores go up is compounded by how the community is built on top of these existing trainers. There are ranks and benchmarks, overall leaderboards.
This was actually a really fascinating challenge for this video because I had to kind of consider that it will be watched, and I think the target audience for this video is basically the same people who watch like Virtual exposing what's his name, Riolu, or like Carl Jobs videos, and that means I kind of have to make it obvious that like why would you care about aim training? So the speedrunning comparison and talking about the ranks and the leaderboards, it is very intentional. And I think it works. I've gotten some comments that are telling me like, hey, I don't really care about aim trainers, but this video was really good. And I think that's really cool. So that was an interesting like challenge to overcome for this video, making it appealing to the people it needs to be appealing to, because they won't usually click a video about like aim training. So yeah.
I think the one exception that you made, and I don't know how much I talked you into it, was talking about Shimmy's technique.
Yeah.
But part of it was just like, we need to flame this shit. It's so annoying to have conversations about it.
I think it was either like talk about Shimmy's technique in the video or make a separate video talking about Shimmy's technique. So I think it was one of two. It could not be left out.
Category-specific leaderboards, and so much more. Most people still use these as motivators to improve in-game, but for people like Shimmy, these leaderboards are the game. And the time investment required to reach as high as he did is immense. Personally, I'm currently number 5 on the Voltaic Benchmarks leaderboard, and I have around 2,000 hours over the course of 5 years. And from what I've heard from other top players, that is a relatively low number. So it's a tight-knit community, and we all know each other fairly well. But at a point, the pond might start to feel a bit too small, and Shimmy wanted to branch out. He had reached his goal of Astra, the second highest rank on the Voltaic benchmarks, and wanted to start applying all of that time training into FPS games. A few months ago, he had joined an aiming team, Team EXE, to create resources for aim trainers.
I was happy I found that intro.
But they primarily focus on Call of Duty and Battlefield montages, and that was an obvious place to start. So, how well did his very good aim translate into FPS games? He was pretty good.
I'm going to stop it here because I know you want to talk about this. So with the music for my videos, I am not very good at picking the music. I would say for most of the projects it ends up being about half-half instead in terms of like chosen songs. So I will choose half of them and Pingu will choose half of them. This was one of your choices and you actually had a really clever idea for this one. So
I was so happy with it. So we had an issue where like there's a new section. We're gonna play a song, but like during the montage of what happens, it has to have like a moment within the song, right? But for a very brief period of time. So I remember that it's a game called FTL, and in that OST, there is 2 versions of like every track. One is exploration, and then another one is combat. And when the combat one starts playing, it will seamlessly like fade into like the current music because they are like the same length, same melody. But the combat one usually has like percussion and stuff. So that was basically the idea. Have that start as soon as like the frag video starts, and then we can fade it up pretty much whenever.
Is this from the multiverse mod?
This is from the multiverse mod.
Okay, I thought so. So if any of you like FTL, look up FTL multiverse and play it today because it's really good.
It's so good.
So it has really good music that like fits FTL. It story-wise, I think it fits pretty well. They've added so much stuff, and the transition between the two songs, the Explore and the Battle, is so good.
Battlefield
It's so
montages,
clever.
and that was an obvious place to start. So how well did his very good aim translate into FPS games?
It actually is completely seamless. It's really good. So
He was
thank you.
pretty good. His aim looks quite controlled, as you'd expect from someone with this amount of time in aim trainers.
I hope my sarcasm is obvious there, as you'd expect. Yeah, it's a roguelike.
It's a red flag.
And his flicks look quite snappy at points too. Very impressive for someone so new to... Oh, he's just been kicked from Team AFC for using an aimbot.
Mini
It's
vine
so
boom.
dumb.
For a second time now, Shimmy had been exposed by his own team members for making cheated montages. How did they know he was cheating though? Maybe he was just so good from all of his time in aim trainers that they made a mistake and accused an innocent player.
This is actually a bit I considered cutting. I don't know if I talked to you about this, but I had a feeling that people would be like if the news got out that he was cheating in aim trainers before the video was done, people would be getting kind of bored. Like, get to the point. What are you talking about? But I think if people didn't know, then I could get away with this kind of longer discussion of like, I don't know, holding that info, withholding the info for longer.
Yeah.
So this probably would have been cut because I forwarded the info to Kovaak, but he didn't make a decision until after the video had come out. So if he had made a tweet like Shimmy has been banned from Kovaaks, this probably would have been just cut from the video. So yeah.
That's why you worked so insanely hard for
Oh my
me.
god, I did this whole thing from writing to completion in 7 days. I have never done that before. I will never do it again. It was
Soul consuming?
soul consuming. I don't remember the week I made this video in at all. I could not tell you a single event that wasn't making the video, other than I think we played
But
Witcher,
a little Witcher, yeah.
for like a couple hours, and that was it.
But yeah,
I've
that's
never
like
worked this hard in my life. I will never work this hard in my life again.
that is like unheard of for like a fully scripted video.
It was good that you didn't cut it. Thank you. I think it's a stronger video for including this, but yeah, I do feel like a lot of the community members will be getting bored, skipping ahead, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's why I would have cut it.
Oh yeah. There isn't any evidence he was cheating included in the tweet, after all. Unfortunately not. He was cheating, and all the proof we needed to know for certain was in his very own video.
I saw someone recognize the song. Yeah, this is a Lemino song. So he actually makes the songs for his videos, which is really cool, and he lets anyone use them. So I really like Cypher. I think it's a really good song. I think it's a really good video. So yeah, I used it here.
Videos. A lot of the clips in his most recent Call of Duty video look strange, but I don't think there was enough to say anything definitive there.
I stand by this, by the way. I've gotten some comments saying like, oh, the code clips are so obvious. I think they are, with the knowledge that he was cheating. There's some stuff that you can point to and look at and go like, wow, that's weird. I thought this one was Cypher. I used Cypher in the video. You might be right that this is Cicada. But yeah, I don't think like watching this, I would have the guts to like call him out and be like, no, you're cheating based on this gameplay. That's what I thought, Ricky. And I know that for a fact because I checked the comments on Carla Jop's video, and there were people saying like, oh, Shimmy is so obvious, but then also different people saying like, oh, the other Team EXE members are so obvious too. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would have called him out based on the
people
clip
very accurately after flicks, but that isn't impossible.
If you played him frame by frame,
and
maybe.
it takes a lot of in-game
Yeah.
experience. Something he is lacking. It's something to ask about, but
I actually had the reaction when watching this, like, damn, I can't track post flick like that. What's he doing differently? You know? Maybe it's the shimmy static
not
tech.
enough for an
My reaction
accusation
was,
like this alone.
They're like, wow, he's actually gotten like NW3 is a good game for him because like it's so much more precise, less visual clutter. His like technique is translating so much better.
In my opinion.
It's such a shame.
However, his video
But yeah,
before
first
that
watch of
with
this was
Battlefield
like,
5 clips is
no.
much worse.
Funnily enough, though, when we first like, got him exposed, or like when he got first exposed, I was like, there's no way he's cheating in Battlefield because these clips are like still not good.
Because you saw like he sent you some, right? And they were kind of terrible.
It's so shaky.
It's not actually the crazy flicks to people he can't see that give it away though. Other people can do that without cheats too.
I should have used someone
highlights
else's
are
clip.
highlights.
I think saying other people can do that too with my own clip kind of comes off as like, I don't know, egotistical.
No.
Instead,
Fill him up for
all you
treats.
need to see to know for certain is this movement. On the first kill, he's
I really do think like this is easily the most blatant clip
Yeah.
we posted.
aiming at upper chest height, which is ideal. High enough to land the occasional accidental headshot, but without the consistency issues that aiming at such a small target can bring. And yet, he corrects down, right to the enemy's crotch level. The kill after, he flicks, makes the correction back to the target, which looks normal, then once again corrects down and perfectly tracks him after. There is no reason to adjust down here, it makes no sense, but he does it both times. Next he flicks to the door, predicting that the enemy he saw earlier in the clip will come back after hearing the gunshots, and he's right. Once again, he's pre-aiming around shoulder height and adjusts down the moment he sees the enemy with a perfect follow-through exactly on their crotch. This is a pattern throughout this entire video. Any corrections that are made to any other part of the player model are shaky, while corrections to waist level are instant with perfect
That
tracking.
read was really good actually. Waist level.
Yeah, Ricky.
I think that was your idea, wasn't it? I was going to be kind of clinical with it,
You
but
say
you're
pelvis. I said, you should say crotch. It's funny.
crotch lock.
This is the sign of an aim key being used. Shimmy would just press a button to lock onto his enemy, and he just so happened to have it set
I like
to
that
lock
read.
onto their waists. Which is exactly what he admitted to in his confession.
I think it was like, I don't know, in terms of pacing, I do think that is the weakest part of the video. Except
it's
for
okay.
maybe the technique bit.
I think the fact that you already know all of it is why it's so
I guess
boring.
so, yeah.
I thought it was good.
Maybe the wrong head. It's my mum's favorite part.
That's cute.
Did you read through the whole confession? Yeah, I did. It was terrible.
So,
He was talking about like, oh, I work 3 jobs. I don't have time.
why would someone who plays aim trainers need
he
to
lies about his
use an
jobs?
I
aim
do.
bot to get clips? It doesn't.
Although he does have fuck tons of money. He just buys like random peripherals, so who knows? As someone that didn't know about the situation, okay, that's good. I do think
you.
like, yeah, for most people it's probably okay. For people who knew, which is most of the video's like initial audience, it might have been a bit too slow.
Makes sense. He had very good
good
aim.
input.
He shouldn't have
Thank you.
felt the
Appreciate
need to
that,
do
though.
this. So, what was his reasoning in his confession?
After joining EXE without in-game experience, but with a
This is a funny song choice, actually. This is my favorite song from the Celeste soundtrack, and you chose it for the video. And I'm like, oh my god, that's my favorite song.
strong kovaaks reputation, it felt like I was turned into a litmus test by both communities to determine if pure kovaaks mechanics gave an edge to actual gameplay, and how large it would be. From the beginning, it felt very isolated. People that would give genuine, useful advice were just a few, and most people gave dismissive responses when
There's an editing mistake in this segment. The white border on this clip, I wasn't bothered to make a white box, so I took Shimmy's clip, cranked up the gain and saturation,
Oh my god.
and grew it a little. And you can tell because this is a solid background instead of a drop shadow like usual, and you can see the 3 from his version number on the kovaaks thing. So
super noticeable.
I actually didn't notice it until like second render of this part. I'm like, fuck it, it's fine.
Advice were just a few.
So
And most people
yeah.
gave dismissive responses ranging from just play to, you're a voltaic astro, dude. You should be telling me how to play. The expectations were suffocating on both sides, where one side expected quick in-game domination due to my raw mechanics, and the other side would devalue my kovaaks achievements because I didn't instantly dominate and get god-tier clips. There was no winning at all, and it only happened because I let others dictate my worth and value.
Shimmy is correct here. A lot of people took his exposure as a chance to have a jab at aim trainer players.
that was a fun edit to make. That's manually keyframed. I think this part coming, I'll talk about it after actually, I'll let it play.
Because some of them do have a tendency to not do as well as people expect in FPS games, but I don't think that's entirely fair. Anyone who plays only aimtrainers knows what they're getting into. People in the community constantly remind newcomers that if your goal is in-game improvement, then you shouldn't put
That's
more
my
than
legacy now,
at most
Anima.
20% of your total playtime into them, and even then, that's probably too much. People like Shimmy play a lot more than recommended, not to get better at any specific game, but because they love pushing themselves to see what's possible, how high they can climb that leaderboard. And I think even playing aimtrainers like this, it does help when picking up games too.
Matty being used as an example is very intentionally here. I think he has very good aim at Overwatch. I don't see that as being particularly debatable. He's significantly above
you should
the
ask
average
Reddit
player.
for their opinion.
Oh, they're fucking dumb.
I hate them.
I really don't know why
Shimmy
people say like,
was
yeah, he's
better
bad
than
aim
the
at
average
Overwatch. I don't get
FPS
it.
player would be at his playtime in COD by a lot, even without cheats. I know this for certain because he actually has.
So I think this bit is important because, and actually I do come back to this later. I think a lot of people, and it happened like with the copy pasta, would use this incident to discredit aim trainers, right? And how like, this is what happens to kovaaks mains. You shoot bot, you become a bot yourself, and all that nonsense. When it does not apply here. Shimmy like was bad in games because he misunderstood fundamental aiming technique, and then he was bad in games because he cheated in aim trainers, right? This is not a knock on aim trainer players in the slightest, but people will take it that way. I kind of wanted to set the record straight before the record had even been recorded, you know?
I was really disappointed with the TS community's response.
Me too.
It's like, first of all, he's new to it. Like you mentioned it later. I won't get into it too much, but like,
You can go if you want.
it was such an annoying knee-jerk reaction to like try and divide the community further for no reason. Based on like, how could you not think like maybe he's actually cheating in both?
I don't know. I feel like that's a really obvious like gut response. I don't know why it wasn't more default for people to at least suspect. Hey, hippie, you know the copy paste. I was surprised how bad he was at CS for aesthetic experience. I have a funny story. I think Anima, you might have been in those games. I know Stir was, who was one of the mods in the run for Discord. Stir thinks he was cheating in like 10-man for fun lobbies in Counter-Strike. They would do some with community members, and he would go from being like completely terrible to just aim keying everyone. And like Stir suspected him at the time, but you know, why would he suspect him? Maybe he's just goated, but
In-house 10 bands.
right, like for fun with friends. And he's
There's, like-
either throwing or using an aimbot, like no in between. It's insane.
The range of skill is like top face at level 10 to silver 1.
Yeah, like
200 ping.
people weren't taking them seriously, and he's anyway. I don't know for sure that he was cheating, but I do trust Stir's judgment. He's very good.
He did that before with Rocket League. That's
What?
crazy.
No way.
But how? Goal aimbot?
That's insane.
How?
I started playing aimtrainers before I started playing FPS games. That's cool. I actually haven't met someone like that. I can now pick up pretty much any FPS game and be decent. Yeah, I agree. I feel like I can pick up a game and learn it quicker than most because I have really good raw mechanics to kind of build from. Obviously, I won't spawn in top 1. That's dumb, and I don't think anyone's saying that. Yeah.
Holy shit. That's insane.
He had an injectable that had loads of cheats on it. That's insane. That's insane. It's better to play for fun in Valorant because he tries. I do think it's interesting that, like, none of his Valorant stuff looked cheated to me. It just looked bad.
He also didn't shoot at people.
Yeah.
I was pissed because I had a friend who was making a video like uplifting the aim community, saying like at the end of the video it's like, I want to showcase to you what aim trainer players can do when you put in the time and you like really care about something. It's a montage, community montage, really uplifting, a nice motivational song, and Shimmy submits his troll clips to it. And like he tried to work with it because like this guy has 2,000 hours, I have to put him in. And I'm like, no, cut him out. This is so stupid. Why is he doing
insane. I don't know. It's frustrating, and it feels like it's just taking the piss out of the whole thing. I really don't like that. Anyway, the side remote.
Another montage, posted before the other two and not cheated. so we can have a proper look at what his aim looks like, and it didn't translate as well as you'd expect. He doesn't look bad, better than most, but in Aimtrainers, he was in the top 25 of the last season's benchmarks. He was very good at aiming, so why doesn't that shine through here? This is quite the topic. Of course, there are other variables like game sense, positioning, nerves, recoil that are present more in games versus Aimtrainers that might have made aiming harder, but that stuff isn't that difficult to learn, especially when you have a strong mechanical foundation to work from.
I got a lot of comments about that, Miku. Like, boobs lover 123, beating him while cheating.
Personally, I think much more of that difficulty in translating his mechanics came from specifically how he trained them. Yes, the shimmy static technique. Static dot scenarios in Aimtrainers are made to improve your fundamental mouse control, isolating flicks and micro adjustments to improve both movements. This is what Shimmy played the most and was most known for, but he took a bit of a different approach to what's conventional. Instead of focusing on having
These VODs were long gone from YouTube, by the way. I had to fish through his Discord message history to find these. He unlisted them all. These are pre-cheating, so
snappy flicks,
that's why I'm using them
his
here.
perspective, as he puts it.
And I was really worried that people were going to call me out for like using old static gameplay in the bit where I'm criticizing his technique, but I went to the earliest or the latest legit gameplay I could find. So, yeah. Plus, you know,
In his tutorial is that
he's cheating.
Fix up.
and instead he focused on fluidity between targets. He got some very impressive scores doing this, and his tutorial explaining this technique was very popular, though controversial.
Alright, I gotta go. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you around.
But I think a lot of the potential issues it has for in-game training were revealed here. He never built that sense of urgency that you see with in-game flicks, especially in games like this. Having good technique is important, of course, but what matters is if you can maintain that technique under pressure. When he goes for those flicks, he looks unstable and uncertain because of a lack of practice. He trained for Aimtrainers, not for these games, and the problems that caused were easily visible. So then,
You should address that comment.
Which one?
Disagree the technique was the reason he couldn't win aim getting card.
I think it was at least a part of it. I think it's why he never built strong flicking technique. And the other part was that like he wasn't as good as we thought he was, you know, he was time scaling. And I have played kovaaks with the time scale on for this video to test and see if like it behaved how we thought it did and to get footage. You get lazy with it on, genuinely. I aim slower when I'm time scaling, so
I also think that the technique is part of why he wasn't good enough,
probably
because
yeah.
it kind of speed caps you.
I do feel like it hard caps you when you're not pushing your flicks, you know? If you're not flicking, you can't get really good scores. Just for clarity, I time scaled to test for the video exclusively in offline mode in a completely independent instance of kovaaks. I don't even have like cheat engine installed on the like Windows that I play kovaaks on. So just for clarity. He was like a low grandmaster, yeah. Time scaling is like slowing down the aim trainer so that you're playing in slow motion. GM and below, GM is good, but I do think like I'd say Nova is where you're kind of forced to get better technique. I feel like you can brute force your way to Grandmaster with pretty bad technique, and you can't really do that for like Nova Astra. Do you think you genuinely believe it had the best technique? I actually had a line in the video saying that I thought his like static tutorial came off as deflection to justify why his VODs looked so weird, but I think you told me to remove it, Pingu.
I think it was slightly too speculative, but it's definitely plausible.
I think so too.
He created his entire guide purely as like smoke and mirrors.
That would be crazy. It might have been a part of it. I don't really know, but yeah. How much of an inflation did time scaling? So on the scenario and UFI no Skybots, my score is 897, which is I think number 5. Clover has world record and that is 900. The gap between 897 and 900 is like, I might be able to get 900 in like a year and a half if I keep playing. It's a big gap, right? Time scaling by the percentages that Shimmy used got me 902.
Oh my god.
which I don't know if any human will ever get. It basically turned me into like super clover.
Super clever.
And on target switching, which I haven't played in months, I was just a little below Lucan, who has some of the best target switching scores on like flick text scenarios. So it's very bad. It significantly increases your scores. I don't know how good he was legit at the end, but you know.
Really good technique.
I think there's a missing like he thought in there.
Okay.
I think he was so narcissistic that he thought he came up with a really good technique despite cheating.
That's good.
Do you think there's some value in Shimmy's technique for tackling clusters? I'm full bad build. I think it depends. It's pretty situational. Gliding over clusters can be good for like 1-6. I don't really know when you do that in games though. I personally don't. But yeah, that idea of just like not even trying to micro on clusters, like the movement is the micro, that makes sense to me, but I also don't think I'd call it shimmy tech. So first person I saw do that is Bardos in his, oh god, what was it? 1750 1-6. He had like a crazy cluster on the bottom right. It's probably not that score, but yeah. Pretty sure, yeah, he got GM legitimately.
I think that in order to get value out of Shimmy's technique, you have to interpret it wrong.
Yeah.
Like, if you interpret it as, like, be smooth and under aim, don't over push flick speed, there is some value there.
I agree.
But flick suck, never have, like, variable speeds to your movements. Like, that's what he's essentially saying, and it's...
I kind of rewatched the video and realized, like, yeah, he is saying keep a consistent speed throughout the flick. That is terrible. It is the complete opposite of what Zionlo does. Zionlo exaggerates the slowdown really, really noticeably. So, yeah.
Because he was good at aim trainers, the expectations felt pushed onto him, and I get it. I get those comments too. Because I'm not the top rank or the best duelist in a game I don't play, people try to devalue my knowledge and experience. This community can be really toxic sometimes, and I dislike that type of response when aim trainer players try to branch out. We should be encouraging them to play more and grow and apply their existing skills. Because no matter what, it takes time for someone to learn a new skill.
I bought that game for that segment and then realized like this is actually really fun.
To learn a new skill, even if they are good in an adjacent one.
There was a tweet made pretty soon after my video came out that was like, this level in Geometry Dash is my favorite level and it's called Delta Interface. And there was a tweet made that said like, no way, Delta Interface in a Viscose video. And I'm like, wow, that's a crazy thing to recognize. And I look and the Twitter account is called like Delta Interface Fan or something. It's a Geometry Dash level.
This is her gameplay, yeah.
Yeah, it is. I have, what's my best run? Like 75 to 100 and 48 to 67? I forget the percentage. It is, yeah. I think it's like in the top 300 hardest.
But a lot of the time,
wave's
when
so
someone
fun.
who
You know,
is good at
Zesty.
trainers
You
puts in
know.
the effort, they do really well. Look at Seraphrag. She started out as a Kovaaks player, swapped to playing COD, and then swapped again to Valorant, and is now one of the best female Valorant players in the world. Or Cartoon, thousands of hours in aim trainers, one of the best in Deadlock, and has been top 50
This looks so
rated in
good.
Valorant.
It is. And this is
Or
from a
Yams.
VOD, too.
Yeah.
Just when, like, a random
I was
touchdown.
genuinely just watching his Twitch VODs and that was there because I wanted the footage.
I wish he posted more.
Right, he could be so freaking like popular because he's so good. He's so good. Thank you, Raya Kaiser.
The list
Welcome to the
goes
stream.
on and on. While aim trainers won't instantly make you good at any game you play, they do help a lot when picking up new games, and I do honestly think that Shimmy would have gotten quite good if he had put in the time.
I stand by that, by the way. That wasn't just like a setup to be torn down. Like, I genuinely believe that.
Wait a second though. If Shimmy wasn't willing to put the time into getting good at Rocket League or FPS games, why would aim trainers be any different? He clearly cares about how people perceive his skill level. It's been his motivation to cheat twice now. It's no worries though. He addressed that in his apology.
No worries.
I've never cheated in aim trainers
JD
and
was-
never will. But all the issues that have been mentioned in this document None of them have ever applied to me in the aim trainer.
Which raised my eyebrows a bit. I've certainly felt that pressure in both, and I know other people have too. What makes it supposedly so different for him?
I've always actively rejected attempts from people to compete or compare scores, and always have stayed in my own lane and played whatever scenarios I enjoyed at the time.
Well, this just isn't true at all. He was constantly sniping scores, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's a weird thing to lie about.
This is insane, by the way. Never attempted to compete or compare scores. And this is like 6 screenshots of him sniping the same person on control tracking. Oh, thank you, Revol, for the prime sub, by the way. Yeah, all of this was the same person. And I actually talked to Domi about this, and she said, like, yeah, it felt really shit that, like, this random static main has, like, come along and is beating her on control tracking. Well, he was just cheating the whole time.
Especially in your apology. Oh, sorry, explanation.
Bogan voiceover is crazy.
I'm summoning her, hang on. At JD, they are calling you Bogan.
I thought it was Kiwi. Aim try not.
But it's a weird thing to lie about, especially in your apology. Oh, sorry, explanation.
I'm happy with the read on that too.
Yeah.
People tend to cheat in aim trainers in a very different way to.
This is law right here. This is, I believe, aim training's first cheating scandal that got exposed. I think there are probably players before this that were cheating. This is the first guy that got caught. And this player's name was Lava. And he got, I think, oh, Porkball, thank you for the gifted sub. Oops, sorry. Yeah, he cheated to Grandmaster Complete with a couple Nova scores and then confessed and said like, hey, this was an experiment. This was a social experiment. I was cheating. This is my timescale values. I wanted to see if anyone would catch me, and no one did. So I actually eventually figured out who it was, and it was a Revisect staff member.
Oh my.
So that was a pretty big deal at the time. I'm not going to name names, but you know, that was
Is he still around?
crazy. I don't think so.
Okay. Jesus.
I just want to say thank you for being on TSing. Yeah, no worries. It's been cool seeing his skills go up in the Vodaries channel. Especially on did you swap to glass or the Raiden? I swear it was glass. And this person sniped JD on BNTS.
That's cool.
So names? Oh, I don't think I will. It's been like 4 years. 3.5 maybe? I don't know. It was crazy though, because apparently like a lot of the members just like knew and didn't care. So
How they do in games. Aimbotting has been
That's
tried
the law.
before, but usually gets caught very quickly. With no visual clutter to obscure how your aim looks.
You have to tell the lie for this one.
Okay, this guy, I will name names here. This is Jackie. He was, what rank was he? I think he was Diamond. And then he basically jumped to Astra Celestial. People didn't believe him. And
What about his relationship with you?
I'll get to that in a
visual
little.
clutter
So
to obscure
he posts
how
this
your aim
footage
looks,
to prove
their
his legitimacy,
inhuman
which
style
is
becomes more
ridiculous, right? This is so stupid. Anyway, this guy, he had a couple of weeks before this whole thing happened. Like, this has happened multiple times. Whenever the OP one is brought up, he says, it's terrible, it sucks, blame Viscose for popularizing this mouse. It is her fault it is so popular entirely. Blame her. She has spread this curse. And, like, this has happened multiple times. He kept saying this, and I called him on it once, and he backed down. But then a few weeks later, he gets banned for blatantly cheating. And it's like that thing on Twitter where it's like, he was not a niche micro celebrity, but like the random niche micro celebrities finally have, like, you finally have a legitimate reason to dislike them. So, anyway, that was very funny. It was very, very funny.
So instead,
And he got me footage for the video, so thank you. Thank you, Jackie.
people turn to slowing down the aim trainer. Aiming in slow motion makes your movements still look human and believable if done right, while also giving you a massive advantage when competing with others. This does come with some telltale signs though. one of which is that it would increase your frames per second, since a second in the eyes of the game is now longer. And then I remembered something.
I think you found the music for this. Was this one was you?
This is me. Yeah.
And I put it in the timeline, and this instantly became my favorite part of the video. Instantly. This is so good. What's it from?
This is from Hadn't Time?
Is it?
Yeah, it's like Murder on the Something Express.
I have watched that video actually. I'll talk about that when I talk a little bit more at the end about the aftermath and how it kind of relates to what happened in Rocket League, because it's kind of crazy how much the two overlap and a little scary that he just did it again. Bye bye, Tommy.
There's this scenario, .ts Advanced. Shimmy got a really good score on it really quickly, right after it came out. It took me like 5 hours of playtime to beat, and in that time I checked his little replay stats on the kovaaks leaderboard, and his FPS really stood out to me. 1463. This is way higher than what I get, and I have a better PC than him. At the time I thought, wow, he must have a really optimized Windows, but now, after this, I couldn't be so sure. Now, his FPS wasn't impossibly high. I've seen people get more, but it was weird, and I mentioned this to a friend of mine.
This is funny actually. Ricky, this is a photo of your cat, I think. And the detective gear was added mid-investigation, but when I was going through and getting screenshots for the video, you've just kept it. So in the video, you're like this sinister cat detective, which I love so much. The FPS thing is weird to me. Couldn't he cap the FPS? Yeah, I could have. And I actually, yeah, I can tell this. The FPS method doesn't really mean anything anyway. Capping the FPS will fix it. If you turn on reflex, it actually lowers your frame rate, which is a bit strange, like when you timescale. And then I just opened like 3 instances of Premiere Pro when making a fake run that I wanted to like see if people could tell. I opened like 3 instances of Premiere Pro and it worked. It lowered my frame rate to normal-ish values. If I needed more, I could just like open more Premiere Pros. So
somebody recently, right? Can you talk about that?
Which one?
Where they would sometimes cap it.
Yeah, I've seen people who I suspect of cheating and some who have been banned for cheating cap their FPS occasionally. So their time will be like 60 seconds on the like time elapsed checker, and then their frame rate will be high, and then they'll cap it lower and their time will increase and their score will increase at the same time. So people are definitely aware of this now, unfortunately. So
honestly, it's so embarrassing. Yeah. Like, why would you just not cap it a value below?
I don't know. I have no idea.
These people are not very smart.
No.
Ricky. He, at this point, was certain there had to be more. Looking back, his VODs did...
Oh, you can talk. You can make fun of me for this. I knew his specs offhand. And I don't know how.
That is crazy.
Both CPUs, I know we upgraded too. This is not an abnormal thing for me, right?
No. You have like... Sometimes I'll ask you what my specs are from like back home.
Oh my god. And I don't know why. I think because like I'll ask because like troubleshooting or checking their performance, and I remember them.
Be more. Looking back, his VODs did seem a bit strange. Oddly fast for someone who says that flicks suck.
Thanks,
so
Ruben.
He went digging and came back with countless oddities. The same scenario getting different frame rates hours apart, his frame rate changing within the same play session. So I started looking too and found something that convinced me personally. On this scenario here, Shim Micro, his FPS suddenly increases by around 10% midway through his play session. And in sync with the frame rate increase, his scores also increase by 10%. This is exactly what would happen if you were to slow down the game to 90% speed. Ricky wanted more though. He didn't think people would be convinced by this evidence, even despite Shimmy's history, and was certain that cheating went back a lot further.
Yeah, this is just the YouTube video. I have been giving like director's commentary, little lore bits on all the footage section, stuff like that. Raven, you have a 7800 X3D and a... Do you have a 4080 as well? I don't remember. Because it was the CPU that you were helping me troubleshoot, so that was the one we talked about.
The first thing you did was to
put floorboard. I don't know about colors, but visuals definitely can impact performance.
to create tables to compare frame rate versus score on lots of scenarios. There was a definite trend here, but he also discovered that kovaaks saves both the local time of when the scenario started and the Unix time of when the scenario ends.
I was like one bracket off. I was close enough.
By converting the Unix time into Shimmy's time zone, he could see how long in real time each run took.
I'm happy with the editing here. I thought it was really clean.
But it wasn't. It was 107. Now, this alone isn't definitive proof. Scores can take time to upload, or someone could pause mid-run. I'm Australian, so my internet is not great, and scores sometimes
that is a real image of my upload speed in the past, by the way.
So my internet is...
It was
1 megabit.
I got like a comment saying like, hey, why don't you have a stream? I don't remember if they were accusing me of cheating, but this has happened before, where people are like, why don't you stream? And then I took a screenshot of my internet, and that was the upload speed. I actually could not stream back then. It was insane. So this is why I stream at 900p, by the way, because I don't know if I can stream 1080, and I haven't tried.
Not great, and scores sometimes take ages to upload for me. But what made this so convincing is how it aligned with the frame rate and score increases. Once again, a 10% change in all values, in sync with each other. There are other players with longer runs than 1 minute, and others still with very high frame rates. But no one we looked at had this happen once, and with a very limited dataset, we saw it with Shimmy 4 times. At this point, it was over.
I was surprised no one called me on that. I could only find 3 screenshots in that same visual style, so I only used 3 and just synced it with 4 times. And it worked, so...
This was undeniable, but Ricky found something more definitive still. One of the only proof standards this community has is these timers, showing your local time for when you start each run. These have to be turned on for a run to be accepted as legit by Voltaic, the largest AIM community, but the broader community will still accept a run as legit without them if it's coming from a reputable player. Shimmy's runs that he submitted to Voltaic all had that timer, but none of the ones he didn't submit did.
I am actually shocked that he did this, by the way. That he would just like not edit in the timers for any run he didn't care about. So like the actual story he's trying to tell here, judging by the gameplay, is like he would just only turn on the timers when he'd play benches. He would go into the settings. It's insane. Nobody does this. Nobody at all. What reason would there be to do this? I don't understand.
This is already strange. I personally never
know.
toggle the timer. It's out of the way and you have to make an active effort to do it. But Shimmy's timer was also in different places in different recordings. Just to show you what this would involve, to move the timer, you have to go to this menu, click this option, and manually drag it around. I haven't done this in like a year. Ricky had the idea at this point that Shimmy might have recorded the timer after the run and edited it into the final run. But if that was the case, that would cause a desync between that uploaded local time in the stats file and the time visible when watching Shimmy's recording. So he checked, and sure enough, they were different. This isn't possible without editing in some way. The value that your in-game clock shows will always be written into the stats
It's
file.
so good.
Even if you change your Windows clock, both values will change. He checked multiple other players, and none of them had this happen. With all the...
I want to briefly talk about how that might have happened, because I think it's kind of tricky, because he tried to record the timers close enough to the real time, if that makes sense. Like, if he would have just hop on kovaaks and record timers, they wouldn't have matched at all. But like, looking at the values,
your Windows clock had this...
They were kind of close, right? Like, within a minute or so, typically. So I think what he was doing is like recording the run, then setting his Windows clock back like a couple minutes, and then recording the timers afterwards, and then editing the 2 bits of footage together, which is just like a really weird way to do it. I don't want to talk about how like most people would do this, but they wouldn't do this. Like, this is really strange. And I guess he didn't know that because when you click on the like icon on the leaderboard, it shows you the minute the run was recorded in, but not the second. So I guess he saw that and thought he only had to be accurate to the minute when, you know, if you look on the kovaaks like backend, you can actually see it down to the millisecond, I believe. And I think it's precise to the millisecond. So yeah, he had a very strange method for faking his timers, and I am kind of surprised that no one caught him sooner. But like I said in a reply to someone asking the same thing on Carl Job's video, he just wasn't good enough for people to suspect him. No shade to Shimmy.
That's why this Battlefield stuff passed too.
Honestly, yeah, it happened. I don't know. He wasn't very good at editing though, I will say.
All this evidence, I feel very confident saying that a lot of Shimmy's more recent scores are cheated. Probably basically everything in these last couple months, and we can confirm that 7 of the 8 scores he submitted for the Astro rank had their timers edited in. And the other one we just can't check. Kovaaks isn't storing that score's data anymore. The only reason I can think of for editing in timers that doesn't involve cheating would be accidentally leaving it on when going for a benchmark PB, but that's the kind of mistake you only make once. Between everything else we found and his history with cheating in multiple games, I see that possibility as very unlikely.
Something I'm curious about, and I debated adding it in about one day before the video went live. I messaged Shimmy and said like, hey, I know you cheated, just giving you a heads up in case you want to leave the community. And I debated putting that confession in because he confessed. Because I was worried that people wouldn't be convinced at this point still. Because people don't, like believe that he cheated. Like, not now. I think most people do now. But there was one moment, this is quite funny. I had posted the video, and I posted, or people were saying, like, no, he didn't cheat. And I posted his confession in Voltaic General. And in reply to the confession, someone said, like, he's not cheating in aimtrainers though, only in kovaaks. And in the screenshot, I say, I know you cheated in aimtrainers. He's like, yeah, I cheated in aimtrainers. And they reply to that saying he didn't cheat in aimtrainers. Have you read his apology? Reading comprehension benchmarks needed here, guys. Like, people were just not willing to accept proof. They wouldn't even read the proof. So I was a bit worried that people wouldn't accept this, but yeah. Did it feel satisfying to confront it? I was horribly nervous. I am not good at that kind of thing at all. So yeah, it's why I didn't do it sooner and why I didn't do it in a very bombastic way. So, but yeah, I don't know. Do people think the evidence in the video was enough? Like, I know we know now he cheated, but
Yeah.
is there anyone who wouldn't be convinced by watching this video?
I think the correlation is too much.
I think so too. And like, why would he edit in? Because like, okay, maybe he edited in the timers because he forgot them for the benches, but he actually did play legit and he just edited in the timers and tried to fake them anyway. Like, that's the kind of like mental gymnastics you need to kind of justify
That would be crazy.
this behavior. It's convincing. Okay. I'm glad it was the right decision to not update the video to include his apology.
How far back does this go though? Was Shimmy a legitimate top player who only cheated for a small score increase, or has he been timescaling the whole time? I assumed the former when we started looking into this, but his Discord messages tell a bit of a different story. See, Shimmy used to have his timers on. No editing, benchmark or not, his timers were always there in the same place. Even though these VODs are long deleted from YouTube, we can still check because he used to post a lot in the Voltaic Discord and ask people for advice on his gameplay. From the start of his time playing until the 25th of May 2024, he had them on for everything.
Another Lemonade
This
song,
was the
by
first
way?
VOD he posted that lacked them, saying he had to reset his windows. I think I believe this. I've actually made the same mistake in the past and had my timers off for a while. But I think that Shimmy took
For my best achievement in aimtraining is probably Celestial Complete Season 3. I had my timers off for about like half of the VODs in there because I just didn't realize I reset Windows and it's had them off. I have made a commitment to myself to go back and get all the scores with timers on. I didn't cheat them, but I don't want to have like people watch that and be like, oh look, you know, this guy doesn't have the timers, so yeah. Oh, Anima, this one pissed me off when I was looking through. Like, at Anima, do your job. I'm requesting you to do, like, free work.
Free work.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Note that no one asked him about the timers, where they went, or why he had them off. At this point, he was acutely aware of what they were for, preventing time scaling, and realizing that no one cared that they were missing probably gave him the idea to try. About 10 days after he reset his windows, he asked the moderator in Voltaic if they could verify a run for him. Generally, to have a run added to the leaderboards, you post it in the leaderboards channel, but Shimmy wasn't asking for it to be added. He was just checking it was verifiable, you know, since his settings got reset when he reinstalled Windows.
That was a good
Now,
read too.
putting aside the massive difference in skill between this and his score from less than a month prior, look at those timers. Not only have they moved,
It doesn't show how bad they are because of YouTube, not YouTube compression, but just general video compression. These are terrible.
but this is the worst
Like, they're
editing
so
I've ever
bad.
seen. They don't even look close.
They're like blocking at the sides. It's terrible. They're so bad. So bad. Smoothie, are you reading the screenshots that I'm putting on screen? Because, like, oh my god. He looks so bad reading the screenshots.
To correct. The moderator didn't notice though.
Ricky, was it you who showed this to me, that I'm gooning? I don't remember. But, like, oh my god.
Probably because
So
he wasn't
funny.
submitting it for anything and said it looked fine. I think this is when it all started. At this point, all of his scores got a massive boost and his aim looked way cleaner as well. Comparing old runs to new was night and day, and even at the time people noticed how quick his improvement was. The highest rank he got to legitimately was Grandmaster, roughly top 1% of the player base, and he cheated all the way up to Astra, top 0.01%. This also...
I'm gonna call myself out here. This image used what was it? There's a program called Upscale, like deep learning upscaler or something. I was worried that people would be like, why did you ChatGPT AI generator a leaderboard? Because you can kind of tell it's AI generated or AI upscaled if you like look at it a little. And I was really worried people would comment like, oh my god, AI. When it's like, I don't know. Why did she post the file vid like yesterday? Really? I haven't seen.
Roughly top 1% of
Yeah,
the
no one
player
noticed.
base,
I was
and
worried for
he cheated
nothing.
all the way up to Astra, top 0.01%.
You noticed?
This also kind of recontextualizes
over.
his video about static technique. His argument hinged on the idea that overall speed developed.
Yeah. So the image isn't generated. I can actually probably find this in the images. Yeah, so it looks like this by default. Which is like, okay, but it's really pixelated. And I thought this would be like more visually distracting than it being upscaled. So yeah, this is a real leaderboard with real distributions.
Over time while focusing on
Biggest
maintaining a
Viscous
consistent
controversy.
pace of movement,
You
but
say I
he
in a
never
video?
proved it to be possible.
Over.
It comes off as him
Wouldn't it have
trying
been
to put
faster?
into
No, it doesn't take long to put it into... It's not like a generator, it's an upscaler. So it takes what's there, kind of works like DLSS. So
words what makes players like Zionlo so good, but missing the mark. They are still flicking, they just have control over their flicks. This is the secret, control over flicks, not removing them entirely. Shimmy couldn't do this. He thinks flicks are bad because he can't control them. But when playing in slow motion, he could get good scores that looked fast without ever needing to truly flick.
was that too mean? He thinks flicks are bad because he can't control them. Like that's shade. That is definitely
He's not
shade.
practicing them.
He's not, no.
This was a bit of a gut punch to me. Shimmy and I weren't good friends, but we'd spoken a bit, we're on good terms. Even if I disagreed with his ideas, it was cool to see someone new trying their hand at educational aiming content, and I, at first, believed him in his reply when he said he never cheated in aimtrainers. I clearly wasn't the only one. He got heaps of
Thank
comments
you.
congratulating him for his honesty and saying that they're glad he's learned when he's still lying to our faces. Lying to his friends who he is competing with, who he is beating the scores of, who he is inadvertently claiming to be better than by cheating. He was only caught because of his carelessness and only didn't get to the top of the scene because he wasn't willing to put in that effort himself. Even when cheating, he couldn't even get close to Matty's skill without making things too obvious. And I am in disbelief that he had the nerve to mention potentially returning to paid coaching in his apology for cheating while still lying. For clarity, please don't harass Shimmy on my or anyone's behalf. I'm only bringing this all to light because he is still not being truthful in his apology, and I've seen people adamantly defending him because he only cheated some Call of Duty clips. We should expect better from members of this community as a bare minimum, let alone from someone who people pay to coach them.
I'm really happy with that segment.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty well said. I think I came off as appropriately passionate. Like, I genuinely care this much about this stuff. I'm not, like, playing up the voiceover for the bit. I hope it's obvious through the video that, like, I genuinely think this behavior is terrible. As a community, we need to do better and be better. Same with what I said earlier about encouraging people to branch out. I mean this stuff. Going off on MP4. When I first wrote this, I recorded it and sent it to Ricky to see what he thought. And I titled it Going Off MP4.
That's funny.
So it's a little there. Makes me sad. I mean, yeah, I saw the worst one was Dawn QT's post about it after he got exposed. He was just gutted. He was really upset by the whole thing. So I felt so bad for him. And I want to talk about a few things here because I think it's quite important. The first is that this has happened before, pretty much bar for bar. Because in Rocket League, in the video I watched and reading the Discord servers I did, he actually had a bunch of people defending him in the same way. So, like, if someone would accuse him of cheating, they would all go and comment on the post, calling them stupid, calling them brain dead, the same things that were said about the people who thought he was cheating in aimtrainers. And he lied to all of them. So even after there was, like, some evidence, they would still defend him. And even when people were sus, they would be like, no, he's legit. Which is nuts, and it's crazy he did it twice. And yeah, really, really awful to just do that to his friends. Imagine being Shimmy, having a great time with the cheats, and some nerd texted you, I know what you did, and proceeds to expose you as a cheater down to the very day you cheated. She also knows your specs by memory. Oh my god. But yeah, that was something that really stood out to me, is like, he did the exact same thing. And yeah, I think that's really, really awful. That's all I got to say there. I don't have any super insightful analysis. I just think it sucks. And I was actually in disbelief when I saw that he did the same thing. Why didn't he just rebrand before coming into the aimtraining scene? Surely it's way less sus because my friend knew straight away who he was. I don't know. And this is quite tough for me because logically, to me, it makes total sense to rebrand. New name, new identity. I think he has some kind of tie to his online identity the same way I do. You know, I put a piece of myself into what I make. I you know, put passion into it. I feel like he feels kind of similar with his Rocket League stuff. There's obviously some, like, shame there, I hope, but a lot of it is stylistic choices, like the sync, the blur, the shots he went for. They were flashy, they were stylish, they were characterful. I feel like there's some attachment to it. And yeah, he didn't shy away from his past. We actually talked about it before, and like I said, he said he was on good terms with the Rocket League community. After I asked him, like, hey, is that like you in this Carl Jobs video about you? And yeah, he said he made people like push themselves to new limits. My friend said in the Rocket League channel that no one liked him. I've seen similar comments on my video from Rocket League players, but yeah, he was like, yeah, we got along, we were mates. I pushed them to improve by cheating. So,
A lot of shit.
Hey, Redabird, welcome. Redabird. For lots of cheats. Yeah, I don't know. He was never good enough to tell anyone how to improve at Rocket League. I had one other thing I wanted to mention. The coaching.
Yeah,
Holy shit,
yeah.
The coaching. I did not touch on this in the video. I had only seen one pre-video. The coaching stuff is like crazy to me. Okay, where do we start? First, the structure of the coaching is strange to me. A lot of it revolved around this like tracking torture chamber. He wouldn't do anything static related, which is crazy. And one sec. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. Yeah, he would constantly miss coaching sessions or be late to coaching sessions. When it's like, this is a set time, I'm gonna be there at that time, and then he's not there. And then when he is there, apparently he would just start making kovaak scenarios for other people in the coaching session. Like they're streaming their gameplay and he's just doing other stuff in the background. It's ridiculous. I don't understand how nobody was like, what is this? I should say something, but
I think our standards as a community are really low for coaching.
I agree, honestly. I agree.
Watch the video of like tragedy coaching that guy in CS. That's good coaching.
How much did it cost? I think it was $70.
$70.
Yeah.
And that's not even talking about the content of what he was saying as well.
Do you want to go?
You can go.
Okay, so Carl Jobs touched on this in his video, but I kind of talked about the coaching to him, and that was his interpretation from what I said. My opinion of it is that his coaching was basically what people accuse aimtrainer players of doing in the first place, which is like pattern learning. So it's like, this specific bot, this is how it moves, this is its strafe intervals, this is like the motions it makes, you know? Nothing about like how to track those motions. I don't really understand how, like, when I write scenario guides, I focus on, okay, what is the point of this scenario? What does it do? What does it achieve? What does it train? And then what can you kind of like use to approach the scenario? So like, should you be using your wrist, fingertips, arm? What should you focus on? What should you be thinking about? Nothing about that. It was just like, they stole this bot pattern from this other scenario, lol, track it like that one. And it's like, it's crazy to me. And I don't know what the voice call sessions were like in terms of content, but I have to assume they weren't that good given that he was able to like do other stuff in the background. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't know.
It's crazy. Even like as aim training coaching, it's not good.
I agree. From what I saw, it was not impressive at all. Anyway, that is one of the most ridiculous things to come out of this. Like, he's talking about returning to coaching. He's flexing his coaching according to Hippie, and
saying that your coaching is better than Ant is a fucking crazy.
That's ridiculous.
That's so insane.
No words.
Horrible take.
The thing is, it would be naive to assume it's only Shimmy doing this. At the very start of this investigation, Ricky tried to slow down the game to see if his FPS would change in the way I thought Shimmy's was. It took minutes. Longer to get a convincing VOD for sure, and you do have to be good to make fake world records.
Ricky, are you still here? This one makes me laugh so hard. It's so funny. It's so good. Can I show this on stream? It's so funny. Because I'll have to find my spot in the video. Shimmy has reactions at the end of his kovaaks VODs where he's like, oh my god, I got a score. And he's like freaking out at the end of all of them. And it's so funny watching them back and knowing he cheated and he's faking like all of the reactions. It's so bad. It's so embarrassing. And in this one, you were taking the piss out of Shimmy. So you have like a fake reaction of it. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Shit. Wait, let's go.
Look real, but getting to a good skill level is 100 times easier than being the best of the best. And for someone like Shimmy, the temptation to get to that point instantly was just too strong. So what can we do? The first step is to stop accepting VODs without the Windows clock as verifiable as a community. Slowing down the game itself automatically slows down these timers. It's just this clock that would be disconnected, and making that look real is the only thing about slowing down the game that takes any effort at all. Having it on isn't proof that someone's legit. Like we saw with Shimmy, it's not hard to fake, but there is no reason to ever have this off. This really wouldn't be enough though. It's inevitable that this will happen again and again until we really get something set in place to prevent this kind of cheating. Ricky and I have some ideas for potential cheat detection methods, but I don't think the community at large would be very positive about them right now. My worry personally is how people would react to more strict proof standards. For example, enabling specific FPS counters would make it a lot harder to cheat, But I'm certain people would reply with, it's just an aim trainer. Who cares, bro? Why do I have to turn this on to aim train or something similar? I'm really not sure how we should go about fixing this. Just that something needs to change, even if it's only community mentality. If I had to suggest one change to kovaak directly, I think it would be good to have stats logs visible for more than just the past 10 runs online. This is why those charts stopped at 10 scenarios earlier and why we couldn't check that other run in Shimmy's benchmarks.
What do you all think about that? I am curious because I feel like people's perception has kind of shifted since this video. There have already been 2 more people who've been caught and banned for cheating since then. And so like this is an issue that people are doing, right? People are cheating. And I think it would be good to have more strict proof standards, but I don't really know how people would react, you know? Like what if I came out tomorrow and said like, hey, you need to turn on these FPS counters in your GPU drivers, right? You need to play with these on, otherwise your scores can't be considered legit. Like, I feel like people would be pretty upset about that. I feel like people wouldn't really take it that well. So for leaderboards, it's reasonable. I think some of this is okay for certain ranks. Okay. But then where does that start? You know, like Grandmaster, people gonna get grumpy? Because people already get unhappy about like the VOD's proof standard. Yeah, I don't know. Are there settings you can enable within kovaaks itself? Not really. The closest you have are the timers, but they're already a standard. GM plus, okay. GM plus level. Because like Grandmaster is like pretty good, you know? Having a mouse cam does not clear you for cheating. More integrated measures. I think that'll be really good. But yeah, I don't know if people's perception has kind of changed since this video came out, but yeah, I do kind of think people would have a negative reaction to it still.
Before I end things off, I want to remind everyone why we do this in the first place. In Shimmy's apology, he says, it wasn't about learning and mastering new skills. It was about validation and receiving compliments and praise. This is probably the most honest thing he said in that apology. He was referring to Call of Duty and Battlefield, but I think it's why he cheated in Aimtrainers too, and Rocket League before that. When researching his past in Rocket League, people talked about how he would ask them to watch and comment on his cheated montages, begging them to hype him up for shots he didn't achieve. It was always about the social credit for him, but that's probably why he felt his achievements were so devalued. I only appreciate the compliments I get on my gameplay as much as I do because of the effort, the 5 years of aim training I have put in to get to the level I'm at. Praise for things you know you didn't do will always ring hollow. And at the same time, the praise isn't why you should learn a new skill. The joy of it comes from watching yourself grow and learn and improve and seeing that time and effort manifest in ways you never thought possible for yourself. No matter your skill level, this is something we can all experience because growth is universal. Don't rob yourself of that feeling by cheating your way past that growth. Thanks for watching.
I'm very proud of that, and I'm happy I didn't rob it of its punch by having a, hey guys, check out my Patreon at the end. So,
yeah.
Sorry if you're a patron of me and you didn't get your name in this video. I hope it coming out so quickly was worth the sacrifice. Thank you. I spent a fair bit of time on this paragraph, and I think it's encouraging to think about how I end videos more from now on, because I think this really stuck with people. I really hope it did, because I think it's I stand by this, you know, genuinely very important. I typically do, Dommy, but I feel like ending the video here really like there's way more punch. Segue interval take amped. Someone was talking about handcams earlier. I want to I had some footage here. So this is me playing in slow motion and speeding it back up. I have a handcam. It looks pretty normal, right? Like I don't think anyone's going to specifically call out the handcam as being the problem. So, yeah. The wire looks odd. Let me get back.
0.8k is your downfall.
Nah, it's just like that, honestly. I don't think it looks strange enough to like call someone on it. What if we make a voltaic mod? It's like Guinness World Records. They send them out to your house.
I think for like smooth and stuff as well, it'd be way harder to tell.
Yeah, for sure. Why did you get name trainers? This is funny. I have been writing a video for Patreon where I talk about like the way I got into it. And it was, I have a line. The first was video from Pinguefy, 30 Days of Kovaaks challenge video. And then I bought Aim Beast and played that because it was cheaper. And then I got your video in my recommended again. And I watched it all the way through a second time. And I'm like, screw it. Okay, I'm buying Kovaaks. And that's why I got it.
It's a weird feeling. I probably wouldn't be in this chair right now if I didn't make that video.
No, probably not.
It's just very strange.
Did you go to university? No, I decided that after high school, I'm going to give myself 2 years to make something out of content creation and just see like where I can go. I'm coming up on 2 years in a couple months, so I'll make my decision then, I suppose. But I think I'm going to stick with it, so I don't know. I think overall, I'm really happy with how the video came together, considering how long it took to make. I think I don't have much comments on the writing or the planning because it kind of wrote itself. I think the biggest structural things to include.
But I think it's just rude to say that I think your video is like significant. Well, not significantly, but better written than Carl in terms of storytelling.
Yeah, but I had the opportunity to tell that story.
I guess so, but like I feel like you pulled your punches until the right moment.
Thank you.
A lot of the time.
That is, I think, the strongest part of the video. Like the double reveal of like this guy cheated twice. Yeah. He did it again. I think is very good.
It's good.
And the biggest decision for me is like, what tangents do I keep in? Like the tangent about technique, the tangent about, improvement overall, the ending. I think I made the right decisions though, generally. I think probably some bits I could have shorted. Is shimmy gooning.png on the screen? Where is it? I missed it. Being a cunt. Okay, I'm closing this folder. Rewatched the video a few times. Thank you. I've had a few people say that, like, yeah, I can't watch like full-length videos, but I watched it through multiple times. Oh my god! I think 2 days after I posted it, I walked out into the living room and I did a double take because my mum had got my video on the television, was showing it to my dad, and they were watching it together. So that was really odd, but not bad. I have said for a while that I want to make a video where like my mum can show this to my family and I won't be like deathly embarrassed. And I think this is that video. So yeah. Oh, my mum watches the podcast, actually. I wonder how she'll react to the segment about stealing.
Oh my.
Stealing and theft. I'll watch all your videos over and over again at least 3 times. Thank you. This is the kind of stuff that motivates me to put effort into the small details or like minor stuff like audio. I think knowing that people actually do rewatch them, that makes it worth it for me. I don't really have too many other comments about it. Oh yes, I want to talk about what happened afterwards. So Shimmy has done a few things since then. He's updated his Twitter profile. He's taken the piss out of it. Whatever, he can do whatever he wants. Something that actually genuinely annoys me is Shimmy has... Oh my god. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you for the 10 gifted. Thank you so much. Yeah, Cloud, that's what he did. So he was involved in creating a lot of benchmarks, and even in benchmarks he wasn't created as I understand it. He would like have some of the back-end code for the spreadsheet uploaded to Google Drive. Got moderated Anima for saying that. Let you through. Yeah, he was the spreadsheet maker. So he didn't actually like put the scenarios in. He made the spreadsheet, which, you know, is effort, but doesn't give him the right to delete the whole thing. So he deleted all of his Google Drive. Apology gone. Explanation gone. And all of the spreadsheets were gone. He copied spreadsheets too. That's fucked.
Holy shit.
Didn't even create them.
That's insane.
He deleted all the kovaak scenarios. So scenarios he made with people, like VTS, for example, were just deleted. And if they were used in benchmarks, they're gone. So really, really shitty. One of the worst possible things I could think for him to do. Not address it, change his profile to a joke, screw everyone over. Yeah. It's terrible. It's genuinely terrible.
I struggle to rationalize how, like, you can still be on such good terms with him. Like, after, cheating 2 times, like, okay, he's got an issue. Deleting all your resources, taking the piss out of the situation, like...
I don't know how people can, like, rationalize this as, like, anything other than just being a dick. Really. He didn't even create them. That's what's... The fact that he was doing this to benchmarks from people he, like, didn't... Like, he didn't create them. He didn't make the benches. It's other people's benches. Also, I actually have it on my TV. That's crazy. I don't imagine my videos or streams being watched on a TV. Do you?
No. It's very strange to see, like, images of that.
Thank you, though. Appreciate it.
That's actually a good question. Do you know any left-handed aim training players?
I know a left-handed aimer. What's his name? Azram? He's pretty good.
Who is it as well? Raven? I forgot. I think Pick Guarding is the current alias. Really good aimer. A lot of FPS games.
Left-handed. I didn't know that, actually.
Is that true?
Random question, but I've been playing a little league outside of aim training. Mouse control outside FPS. You have awakened a memory for me. I forgot about this. I actually found playing Os Relax really helpful for like low tension aiming. It kind of gave me a refresh because I was a very high tension player. I had to be low tension to do like streams and stuff. And I'm like, holy shit, I should do this when aiming. And it kind of gave me that little realization.
Let's go. Thanks for the sub.
Nexu, thank you for gifting a sub to Pinguefy.
It's funny how, like, that discussion about 2D to 3D aim, there's always the two extremes of, like, it does nothing, or it's, like, literally an aim trainer. That's why they're good. But the reality is, like, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I found it more helpful, like, mentally, technique-wise for me than actually, like, doing drills. But yeah. I got his first Astro at EvaTS. Congrats, by the way. EvaTS is, like, evil, right? It got, like, super buffed. Right? I don't remember. I didn't know he deleted it though. It's a shame. I just recall him doing streams with not on hand. That makes sense. The whole raw input
Tier 3! What the hell?
I owe her a VOD review.
Holy shit.
You're trying to like get yourself sniped back. Absolutely.
Needs competition. It's boring at the top.
I probably do anyway. I owe you another VOD review now if you want to request an extra one. So, Sublady is very cute. I love it. Thank you though. I appreciate it a lot. Hey JD, I owe you a VOD review now. So,
is that how it works? If you're the recipient of the sub, you get it?
I actually don't know because they'll get access to the channel.
True.
So
that's funny.
So JD, Absolutely, the person who gave you the sub sniped you on BeamTS, and that was the goal that they requested a VOD review for. So you gotta get your revenge. People think there is like zero. I don't get that either. I think there are definitely translatable elements between like 2D and 3D aim, and like I mean I don't look clueless when I have to aim at something in 2 dimensions, but you know, expecting it to replace an aim trainer is a little silly, I think.
Yeah.
Have you all seen that chess player? Who was it?
Penguin GM.
Yeah, Penguin GM, who played Aim Labs. Did really well.
He's good.
That's very cool. It's
crazy that he's like super GM at one specific skill that involves like mouse aim and
yeah,
fence.
It's actually really cool. Which games do you find the most fun? For me, I've been enjoying Overwatch. I like the finals, but it hasn't been great right now. Not gonna lie, I have been mostly playing like single player stuff. A lot of Borderlands actually with Mist Colors and Pinguefy. What about you?
Playing a lot of Borderlands with Mist Colors and Viscous as you. I'm so burnt on multiplayer FPS right now.
I just want something good to play.
It always happens where like I'll have a series of like nightmare sessions in a row. Like Battlefield 5, I just had like horrific games. I'm having a terrible time, and then I'll quit for a bit. And then every time I think about playing it, it has like this massive mental weight to like open the game because I don't want to like reinvite that evil.
I had a nightmare session of Overwatch on the day I posted that video. I was actually cursed. I couldn't do anything. I was just like, it was auto losing like over and over and over. And I haven't really wanted to get on the game since because it was that bad. So
Tell me.
there you go. This is your Subway Surfers, by the way. Enjoy.
Wow.
See you, Red Arbor. Hope you're doing well. And good luck with the homework. I have this every time. Oh my god, Valorant is the worst for it. Like, I don't know. I cannot like stomach the idea of like playing that game. You guys ready for Borderlands 4? JD, do you want to play Borderlands 4 with us? Because I would be down. I'd be down.
She said no, didn't she? She's like,
I thought so.
I play alone.
Glad I could catch a stream. I use the 490 by 420 usually, but I also have the 500 by 500 ones, and they're good. I don't really notice the difference. So
Armrest carried.
yeah. Do you know if corporates have actually left and they can come back? I don't know if anyone's been able to contact him. I know Matty tried, and he wasn't able to message, so I don't really know.
That's crazy.
That whole like drama was so stupid. So stupid. I don't get why people cared at all. Corporate Surf, Anima. What happened with Surf? He had a video about Shimmy that was titled like the most notorious cheater in gaming. Someone left a comment about it, and then when Carl Jobs said something like adjacent, Surf went back a couple of days, maybe even a week later, to be like, look, Carl Jobs said it. And then that person called him stupid, and then there were a couple other people who were like dogpiling. And I don't really know why any of them cared so much in the first
why
place.
is it the hill you want to die on? Actually, Shimmy's only in the top 10 most notorious cheaters of all time, as opposed to being the number one. Your YouTube title offends me greatly.
I don't really get why they like was so vitriolic about it. I get why Surf brought it back, but I don't think he should have.
Yeah.
And I think it was just like a massive overreaction on all fronts, and I think if any of them had just stopped replying, we wouldn't be in the spot we are now, but you know, they didn't.
It's really
So,
strange.
yeah.
I just don't understand why we're like picking fights with each other like that.
Yeah, likewise. Hey, Kovaak, welcome.
Oh, let's go.
Thanks for the follow.
I'll go back. It's interesting to think about how many of my videos are like kind of adjacent to Kovaak as an individual.
It's very
right?
funny.
Azeron,
Even, like, the
Mass
Azeron,
Excel.
yeah.
Yeah. And he also uses split keyboards. That was really cool. Are you still on the Ergodox?
How many cheaters do you think haven't been found in this space? A lot or no? I think there are a fair few. I want to say, I don't think more than 10% or anything crazy like that, but I would not be surprised if there were like multiple people in the top 50 who were cheating. It's just so tricky to know for certain, you know? And it's so easy to cheat and so hard to prove that someone cheated. Maybe trying the Breeze V2. I think you're getting a
Yeah, I'll
pingu,
get
so
one.
I'll probably give it a go. One new video. I am working on a Zowie monitor review that should be out pretty soon. I want to say next week or so. And after that, I have no idea. But I am working on stuff in the background. Been working on the benches, been doing coaching for a couple Counter-Strike pros that I really want to make a video talking about that. So, yeah.
It's a good idea.
Do you not read Discord DMs anymore? Do I?
You want to reveal them?
Do you see the number? It's a substantial number. I try. I really do try. It is really hard. So yeah, I do try to like reply to DMs. If you want to contact me, the best way to contact me by far is to ping me in the Raw Input Discord server or my Discord server. I reply to pretty much every single ping I get there. DMs are a bit trickier for me, so that is the best way to contact me if you want to contact me. So keep that in mind. And if I haven't replied to your DM, ask the question again in the server. Don't go like at Visco's check DMs.
Oh my god, that should piss me off.
This is about like, you know, if you have like an aiming question or a peripheral question or something like that. How's your experience with the Ying so far? I would not recommend it over the OP1. I think if you are an OP1 like super fan, the Ying is pretty good. I think if you're not really sure on the shape or you don't know if you like the shape, it's really hard to recommend. There are QC issues. It's really pricey. And it's just not like as good value proposition wise as the OP1. Have you tried the Midori cable? I have actually.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's okay. I think it's much better than stock, but I actually prefer my hand braided cable. So
I would agree with that.
yeah.
I think both of them are worse than the air cord.
I
That
agree.
shit
The
was
air cord is
peak.
really good, but you can't find that anymore, I don't think.
It's so good that I've started ripping out batteries from my mice and just using the air cord. Because like that's free weight reduction.
Actually.
And it's so good that I like have basically you can't tell the difference.
You understand me now. With this cable, I don't see the reason to use a wireless mouse.
Perhaps.
I think having some structure and stability to the cable is kind of important. I think the really light cables tend to get like coiled up in weird ways and can get stuck into the mouse. And it's just, I don't know. It's not objectively better in any way, and I can only think of downsides to compare the two. I guess the benefit is that you don't have to spend a couple hours making it yourself, so...
Yeah. I do think that the material also plays a role in that.
Yeah, probably.
I will say that I have to eat my words that I thought there was you could never have like a really good rubber cable. Because
I guess that one is rubber, and
yeah,
it's
it is good.
pretty good, yeah.
The M2K was just fucking horrible.
I've been thinking about getting the Rin for my first actual mouse pad. I play all types of shooters, playing Battlefield, R6, and Finals right now. I think it's a really good mouse pad. I think my only worry for you would be like it being too quick if you haven't used any other quick mouse pads. I think something like the Zero would be a safer get, but honestly, if you like the idea of like a really fast mouse pad, I think the Raiden is a really good one. So have you tried the Unius? I have actually. I have it on my desk. I think it's pretty good, and I've had some minor QC issues. I like the shape changes, but they're not for me. But I think for most people, like, especially, you know, who don't use their fingertips much, who like the OP1 for different reasons to why I like it, I think it's pretty good.
What about the sensor issue?
Oh, it's tough to say. I have issues with sensor skipping on the Unius, and it's not that noticeable, but I still do notice it. I don't know if it ever like loses me a kill or something, but seeing my sensor skip in games annoys me. So
I think it's more than annoying. It's just not good.
yeah, it really shouldn't happen on a mouse at that price point.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's just my unit or like if it's my fault somehow. I really don't know.
It's unfortunate because we contacted Unius about it, and they said like I've never seen this issue before. Try upgrading the firmware, restart your PC. We did it, got a little better, it's still there.
Yeah.
And there was somebody else who corroborated this experience. I forget who it was.
I don't remember
So it's
either.
not just us, but it does make it like way harder to recommend, in my opinion.
Yeah, first time catching a stream, I actually learned about you from the Battlefield play Baranox before you blew up with just complimenting her. That's really cool, actually.
That's cool.
I like Baranox a lot. There was one time a couple of years ago, my grandfather, I have this memory of my grandfather having a FG42 on the roof of his barn. He's in the middle of nowhere in Australia. And I don't know if it was an FG42 or if it just looks similar. I was a kid, but I wanted to know, like, is there any way he could have this? So I asked Baranox because he's, you know, really keen on weapons. And he's like, that is worth like six figures. I don't know if he had it or not. But yeah, Baranox thought it was kind of unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I remember it being, but I don't know. I don't know if it was or not, so... It was definitely a gun, though, on the roof of his barn, and I don't know why it was there. Yeah, that's what Baranox said. Like, the 6-figure price tag on that thing. The barn actually burned down in the Australian wildfires. This is also insane, actually. My grandparents are ridiculous. I don't know if I've ever told you this, Pingu. There was a really bad fire in Australia, I think 2019. My grandparents live in the middle of a farm in a wooden house, and they did not leave their house. They did not relocate. They didn't do anything. Their barn burned down, and it takes about 30 seconds to walk from the barn to the house, and their entire farm burned.
That's insane.
And they didn't leave, and they just stayed. I don't understand.
So what was the plan?
I don't know. Don't burn.
Don't burn. I mean,
fine,
it worked.
So
that's absurd.
I don't get it.
How did you even like breathe afterwards?
I don't know. Like the barn is like right there and it burned. I have no idea. Their house didn't burn down though. It's fine still.
What about the barn? Has it been like reconstructed?
I don't know actually. It's like
You type that is really funny. Talking about like two grandparents.
My what 60, 70-year-old grandparents just aura farming. Oh my god. And my dad was like confused, freaking out, like why would they leave? We're just chilling. I don't get it.
That is psychotic. I have to admit.
Oh my god. What was your longest kovaak session? I want to think about aim training for over 10 hours a day. I know some people do it. I know some people have success with it. I cannot in good faith recommend anyone do that. I think even if your goal is like kovaaks improvement, it's so like likely to end in a wrist injury. We've seen it happen. Or like I think how I put it the other day actually was playing 100 hours of kovaaks over 10 days will get you quicker within those 10 days than someone who plays an hour a day, but it will like you will not be better than someone who puts in an hour a day over 100 days, you know. It is not the most efficient use of your time. It is only really useful if you want to get good specifically at aim trainers, like really quickly, and even then I think you're more likely to just give yourself a wrist injury. The longest I have played for in a day is probably 5 or 6 hours when I thought I was going to be in like an aim training competition. It's pretty rare for me to do more than 2. So, yeah. How do you even stay motivated with kovaaks? I don't know. I'm not like that, hey. What do you think about 4K resolution gaming? Not gonna lie, I have only tried it on my dad's setup because he has a 4K monitor. I don't. I've never used one at my own setup, so I don't feel qualified to judge it. Do I still use spire pads? I haven't in a while. I think they're still pretty good for like tech shooters, especially the Rosanna. I think is really good. But I don't really play anymore, so I don't use them. Kind of gangster parents do you have? My dad actually is a farmer plus accountant, which is a funny combo. Really he started playing Farming Simulator a couple years ago and just thought it was really fun and wanted to do the same thing IRL. So he bought a bunch of farming equipment with his brother and started farming. He did work on a farm as a kid for his dad. So yeah, he just I don't know, he really wanted to. He thought it was fun. He has like 6,000 hours in Farming Simulator or something. Do you like drugs? I have no experience to pull from there, I'm afraid. Why don't you use a site? Back then, I think sites were actually like pretty like clearly worse. Yeah, and more bouncy. Yeah. Now I just prefer the irons. It's completely preference. All right, I'm going to do one last call for questions. Anyone have anything they want to ask before we end stream? But I'm really tired. I want to go to bed. When more streams? I will do them soon. I think my PC troubles are fixed now, so I can actually stream games, but I don't really want to play anything. Nothing has been too fun for me recently. Unless you all want to watch, like, Slay the Spire or something. So, yeah.
Long dark.
Maybe, actually.
That would be good content.
That'd be
Plus,
fun.
you have the Doom stream still.
True. Can a bigger mouse cause shake hand? If it's too big for you, I think so, yeah. And it will definitely cause you hand pains. Have you experimented with different fabric types over your armrest? I am writing that down because that's really clever. That's really, really clever, actually. Coffee or tea? I am a tea person.
I got you into it, actually. You were in either of them until I came here, right?
That noise, is it you scratching your throat? Depends. I clear my throat a lot. I have really, really bad hay fever. And I scratch my legs sometimes. So sorry if you can hear that. I think people would genuinely, maybe. I'm just a bit nervous to stream anything, you know? These kind of talky streams are pretty easy. What tea is your favorite? I don't know. It's like vanilla and honey.
Yeah, it's like vanilla, honey, chamomile.
So
It's been hitting different. How does that rank compared to the black tea, milk and sugar?
That one's pretty good. I think they're close, but I really like the smell actually of the milk and honey one.
It's good.
I can hardly smell anything. It's like one of 3 things I smell in a day, and it's really, really good.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
I think we should have a loose leaf tea arc. It's been a while since I've gone down the rabbit hole.
It's funny. Can I send it on the VOD review? Of course. I know I've got a bit of a backlog in there. I've been working on something for the last few days, but I will get to it if you post it and ping me, so yeah. Do you play finals ranked? I cannot. It's dead in Australia. How to get rid of the worm in my brain telling me to buy more peripherals? That's a tough one. The worm is gone for me. I have no more worm. The worm is like buy 5 more zeros now. It's not like buy new mouse pads. I think I am completely content with the peripherals I have. I know that if I want to get better, the secret is not a new peripheral or anything like that. There is nothing that will fix me. All I need to do is put in the time. And I think that kind of mentality is very helpful, even if you do enjoy buying new peripherals and stuff like that. Even if it's fun for you, it should only be fun for you. It shouldn't be like this is going to make my aim better kind of thing. It definitely can be, but if you're at the point where you're worried about the peripheral brain worm, then like you're past the point of like experimenting for improvement's sake. It's like, you know.
Somebody mentioned that earlier of like my peripherals, I don't like them. I don't know what to do because I don't want to spend a bunch to find like my perfect peripherals. Like you don't need them. There's so many really good players using terrible setups.
Yeah.
And if you believe that your peripherals are the problem, like they're probably going to be the problem. Just like mentally, you know?
Yeah. Do you feel like you put more effort when coaching in a pro? There are sometimes I have to. I don't know. I know Elige watches my videos. I don't know how much he watches them. If you see this, Elige, hello. I'm sorry the coaching has taken me so long. Elige is so hard to coach. He is so good. He is so good. So good. And I find it really hard to like pick out weaknesses for him at all. Because like genuinely, he doesn't just have good mechanics in games. He's good for an aim trainer main, but he's not an aim trainer main. He just plays professional Counter-Strike. Like, I don't know. So like that by nature will require a lot more effort than like, you know, a normal person. But I don't intentionally like do higher effort coaching for pros. At the moment, I'm only coaching pros. So yeah. And I want to carry that level of coaching quality to everyone who end up coaching. Can we show the document?
Can you show twists? Make sure it works properly. Is it okay to publicize this?
I think so. I want to put it in the video anyway. I'm just going to show routine 1.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to wait for it to load. Blazers. That's cool. It's really cool. I don't do one-on-one calls on Discord, but I do VOD reviews for Patreon members. Is coaching your main job / profession? No, I only coach like tier 1 professionals if they reach out to me for coaching. I don't do anything else yet because I have been, like both of us actually, this is a joint project that we've been planning for a while and it's been work in progress for a while as well. So I'm using these as like trial runs for that kind of system. And I can show it now.
Let's go.
Let me pause this and get this up. So this is the routine page for the coaching. So we have a big main document which has like strengths and weaknesses. I'm not showing this, but this is how the playlists look. And I love it. I love it so much. It has a like description of how to play each scenario. It has all of the GIFs showing the like ideal technique. And I sometimes spend way too long trying to perform good technique on these scenarios. And I write up a little description for each one. And how I kind of structure routines in my coaching is I give them 3 to 4 and they can kind of choose based on what they're noticing as a weakness. So I might pick out 4 weaknesses, make a playlist for each one, and, let them kind of balance their own time, because I think that kind of self-directed, goal-focused practice is really impactful. So if they're like, I want to improve my fluidity on my microcorrections, they can play this more. Instead of just making like a big daily routine, I think this is a much better way to do playlists within coaching. It's really cool. This is all Pingu's handiwork, by the way. I don't have the skills to make this. I don't know how it's possible in the first place. But I love this. I think it looks really, really, really good. So when I eventually do public coaching, it will be something like this. And it will probably be a duo project if you're up for it.
Hopefully, yeah.
Just interest check. Is that something people would be keen for? Duo coaching, this kind of thing for the playlists, big long document write-up.
You said the benchmarks page?
Oh, yeah. So we haven't set the scores.
You can change the benchmark. I'm quite proud of this.
So this is like, you don't need the voltaic spreadsheet. You just got this one, and it pops these in.
I have every voltaic benchmark plus the viscose benchmarks built in. Show the viscose one.
Yep.
Boom. Look at that. I was quite happy with that solution.
It's so clever. So clever.
Because we'd have people of like, playing all different sorts of benches. You can't just have like one at the bottom here. So.
If I go T3 sub, so anyone who has access to the supporter channel in my Discord, which I think is any type of sub or Patreon, can just ping me in the supporter chat and I will reply if you have questions. I love it. I told you. It's really good. It's really, really good. But yeah, I don't know. I love this so much. I think it turned out really well.
Thank you. I'm proud of it as well.
But yeah, there's still a little bit to do before that is like available. So I'll probably put out a tweet on my second account on Twitter asking if anyone is like interested, and we definitely won't be able to get to everyone from what I'm seeing here. So apologies in advance if we don't. Look, Pokemon Noah and the benches.
Thank you. I was happy with that. Because at first it was just going to be like obscure names for colors and a rainbow for missed colors. But then I were like, wait a minute. Somebody's already done this.
So then it like doubled. I thought that was really clever.
Somebody mentioned Mega Dragonite earlier. What the hell is the Mega Stone going to be called? Dragonite?
Garlic bread or breadsticks? It's going to be garlic bread for me. I like garlic bread.
You like it?
Garlic bread?
No, sorry, I meant Mega Dragonite.
Okay. I was like, what? You have it like all the time.
Yeah, so you can hear the disbelief in my voice. Ooh.
Suck my smooth spears.
I don't want to do that. Do we know its ability? Sorry.
Is this what you two are watching?
Sort of. I think she was waiting for a game reveal.
I see. Anyway,
I think... my god. Sorry.
Anything you want to say, or?
I was gonna say that like having multi-scale to set up Dragon Dance and then having a different ability post Mega would be stupid. Sorry.
I have no idea what this means. It's such a nerd. I'm like 10-ish points off. Oh, good luck. Fuchsias were like really hard now, so congrats already. How do you record your clips? I use OBS and I record at 120 FPS. I think CQ 18. Is there any way to automatically set scenarios based on what you score high, low in? I don't know. I think a recommended scenario list would be the way to go about that, which I might make, but is also a lot of effort. I kind of already treat the benches as like a recommended scenario list, honestly. Like, I think this is the most scenarios in any benchmark, I think. Like, Voltaic has what? Is it 18? It says 32. So, I tried any of the weapons. I've tried the F-car a little and a couple of the light guns. That's about it. Do you have a video where you talk about desk height and posture aiming? I'm trying not to distract so much of my desk. So, this is a tough one for me. I don't want to talk about posture too extensively because, full disclosure, I am not an expert. I'm not even like knowledgeable in the slightest. This is like what I have noticed because I have not looked into this. I do not know what is ergonomically the best posture. The only things that I really know about posture and can say for sure is that you don't want to be too high or too low in terms of elbow position. So, you know, you can raise your elbow more to compensate for like having your desk higher than it should be relative to like your belly button. But that will kind of create like a disconnect when moving your arm around, and I feel like it doesn't engage your shoulder as well. So what I like to do personally, my desk sits just above my belly button. I think around that range is pretty good, and it lets you come at the desk at a pretty straight angle from your elbow with
your armrest.
From my armrest. With a slight gap in between your elbow and your torso, but like not that much. So I don't think you want your elbow like flared out massively to the side or anything like that.
Can we run a poll of armrest versus no armrest?
It's got to be like
curious.
90-10, genuinely. And then this is the last thing before. Armrest versus no armrest. Armrest, no armrest. So this is like, do you use your armrest for aiming? Like you have your armrest, your arm on your armrest while you're playing kovaaks. Thank you. That was a good tip. I hope that was useful. I am not good at talking about posture. I'm not knowledgeable when it comes to posture. It is just like what I have noticed from experimenting and seeing how other people play.
Check the poll.
What do we got?
Holy shit.
I told you 90-10. Yeah, okay.
Maybe we're sleeping.
You all are sleeping. Armrest is new tech.
I wouldn't be a sleep addict if I used the armrest, but I can't.
True.
It's like too late for me.
I can't aim without them, honestly. I have a chair with no armrest, I can't play. It's really bad. What if no armrest? You're doomed. I'm sorry, it's over.
Quit now.
Actually, I will real quick turn on my camera and not show the armrest. I don't really feel like lifting my camera up, but where is it? Here we go. So here is how I have my arm just in line. Just beyond here, what you can see off the table, here's the edge of the table, like here. And then there is my armrest. I have it sitting right at the edge. So it's like a line connecting my mouse pad and the table. It's ever so slightly above it. So my arm doesn't really touch the pad. And I base my movements from the armrest. So like that is my pivot point here. And then up and down I can do as well. These movements get a little tricky, kind of sticks. But yeah.
You gotta get some like silk.
The high polling rate makes a difference. I will talk about this and then I will go. Here is a project I'm working on for polling rate testing. This has been very time consuming. I have been tracking my scores pretty extensively. This is like I have to hop on and play specifically these scenarios on this sense with these peripherals and no resets. So I can't just like play kovaaks for fun and write down my numbers. Like I have to try and get numbers that are good to write down here. And here are the results so far. I think looking at this, you can kind of take two approaches. One is like, that's a really small score difference. Two is like, that's like 30 leaderboard placements on the averages, you know? I think at the level I am at currently, it is a decent difference. There is absolutely a difference between 1K and 4K. 2K and 4K, dubious, especially here with really small movements. But I feel like the larger the movements get, the larger the difference between 2K and 4K gets. So maybe if I were to test on like smoothboard or something, it would be really significant, but I haven't, so.
It's good data.
Do you think it could be placebo? I've done tests where I have no idea what the polling rate is, as well as I could have, because I can generally tell.
Yeah.
But
We've
I don't
done
think so.
blind tests where she will leave the room, I will pick a polling rate, and she will get it. And there was one time where I trolled her. She's like, do either like 1K or 4K. And then the first time I'm like, I'm doing 2K. And she's like, this doesn't feel right.
Oh my god. But only at 360 hertz. I can't do it at 480.
God,
Or on 240 I can do it. Or 280. I do recommend 4K, yeah. I think 2K is pretty good. And I don't like using 1K. Best mouse cable that you can buy. If you can find an air cord, they're really good. The OP1, what's that one called? Midori? It's probably the best, but I prefer hand-braided wires.
I wonder how the LGG one is, because that one's not rubber, right? It might be
Yeah,
air cord
actually.
adjacent. I actually pitched the air cord to Tekasai. Because like I want it so bad to exist.
You're just trying to like here, every company I know, take this idea and make it.
I want it to exist. I'm like, please make this cable. And it's like, I only really make stuff that I personally use, and I just use wireless. I'm like, fuck.
Lady PI, yes. Yes, it is. So yeah, you all can notice 4K is 8K is missing from my testing, partially because I wanted to save my sanity. Secondly, because I tried to do 8K and then went down a crazy rabbit hole of trying to get it to work in the first place, because I noticed that my scores got worse, and I'm like, what is going on? How is this happening? So I have got it working in kovaaks, and I have figured out how to do it, but it was so time consuming and so stupid that I don't think anyone who watches my video, because this is for video, I don't think anyone who watches the video is going to be like, oh, I should get 8K working because then I have better input. I think most people are going to be like, I'm just going to use 4K. Because yeah, this is worse performance, and it's because I was getting micro stutters on 8K.
So you had to do the insane tutorial thing?
Yeah, that was
That's insane. Yeah, you can't be having people do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably will mention it in the video, but I don't want to be like, look how good my 8K test scores are. Do this thing to get them too, you know? Yeah.
Do you have data from when it's fixed?
No.
I see.
I have a feeling it would just be like slightly better than 4K, not really noteworthy.
Definitely not worth it, especially in game.
Yeah. It depends on given system. You can fix like basically all of it if you have a decent CPU. There are some times where it's just like full engine limit, but generally it's fixable. It's just not like worth it. I think 4K is plenty. I think 2K is probably good enough. But there you go. I don't know if anyone else has like really extensive testing. I know Techless found similar, that it actually did better on higher hertz. And I now have the same thing to kind of back up his testing with like more scenarios, more testing. And yeah, I had a similar result. So yeah. I would use at least 2K, because to me, like, these are pretty significant increases in averages. I do think that's like substantial.
I agree.
All right, I think that's all I've got though. Thank you all. That was a nice stream, actually. That was good. Hope you'll have a nice night or day, I suppose. Thank you all for watching. I will see you later.
Something that makes this video interesting is that this is the first one of these videos that is the expose. You know, most of them are like recaps from other communities. Like, this is what happened in this other community. But like, this was the video that was like, hey, he's cheating in aimtrainers, by the way. And having to hold our tongue whenever there were people that would like,
oh my god, it was
he's
annoying.
not cheating in aimtrainers though.
There were people, I'm not gonna name names, there were people who were calling people like brain dead for suspecting him of cheating in aimtrainers. Like, oh, why would you think that's so stupid? There's no proof. Why would you assume? And it's like, I knew the whole time that he was cheating. But I had to make the video, and it takes me a long time to make videos. One exception being this video. This video I actually made really quickly. So Do you have any Rocket League freestyle clips? Yeah, I'm crazy at Rocket League.
Do you know how a flip reset works?
Nope.
Okay.
Check this out.
How many hours?
5.
Okay.
Pinky's working on the video. I watched you work on the video today. So it's in the process.
I did 30 minutes of video in like half a week, I think. So like there's video being
good.
made. It's
That's
just
good.
a big video because that's halfway done.
Yeah, and I feel like projects like this, or when you take on a bunch of projects at once, people don't like know that like you post it and they're like, oh, welcome back. Where have you been? It's like, I've been here the whole time. I've been working.
What was I gonna say? I've had a lot of ideas lately though, so I think I've got my plate full. We'll see how I feel about posting on which channel, but
I do Rocket League first time. That's actually really cool. I like that a lot.
it's neat.
600 hours, I'm still Diamond Jade. No, I don't think that means it's over. Prefer's mine. I've used the Ying. I use it for COD mainly at the moment, actually. The one day Visco streams have to be up for 5 hours. You should go to sleep. I'm telling you this as the streamer. You should go to sleep. I'm going to like chop this up into a YouTube video and put it on my second channel. So I don't think you'll miss anything super important. You don't have to worry. Is replacing skates bad for a mouse? No, not at all. I think artisan dots... it depends how sensitive you are to skateware. I swap mine every like 4 months or so. But you could use them for longer for sure. Lewis's technique. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen Lewis's aesthetic photos.
That's interesting. Sadly, the only thing I've been doing with the Phantom is Google Sheets and editing software. The finals has been like really rough for me lately.
Me too.
I've had I don't know if it's just an OCE thing, but it's like pretty much exclusively 5 stacks these days that will just ruin your life.
Any chance you become a top tier deadlock player? No. Have you played? I haven't played Us. You have played Us though.
I have. What is the question?
Just asking if I've played.
Unfortunately, yes. You've played some.
I have played some.
You're quite good at Relax.
I played Relax only because otherwise I'd get like super RSI and I didn't really want to.
It's cool to see the translated skill though. How much of that skill do you think comes from GD?
What with
Like reading through the chaos?
I don't know. I don't think that much.
Okay. What about tapping? Your tapping was okay. Like the streaming was.
I thought it was pretty bad, so I don't know. I had to single tap because I'm not used to like
Yeah.
two finger.
Look at that Sector's Edge mentioned.
I have played Sector's Edge actually. I got into it because of Pingu as well.
Let's
so
go. I'm sad for that game became.
yeah.
Although he has like a whole channel dedicated to like game dev stuff now. It's doing really well.
I saw one of his videos like completely independently. And it was
Yeah,
really good,
yeah.
So
He was really, really nice. I wish I could have done more for that game.
yeah, I think you did what you could.
You're probably right, actually.
Taze, are you thinking of Rensu? Because I know the video you mean if that's the case, and I don't think that one quite agrees with Shimmy either. Hey JD, by the way. Sorry
JD.
for going live on your channel.
We watched that video like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
It's better. It's better.
OP1 and AK version. I think the regular one is fine and better value, honestly.
How much more expensive is it actually?
I think the normal is $50, $55, and then this one is $75.
Oh, so not... Wait, what is the question?
OP1 1K wired to
Oh,
8K.
okay. I thought it was 8K versus 8K V2. Do they still sell the V1? Or
I don't know. I feel like it's fine to just like replace it.
Yeah.
Do you listen to music while you train? Or if you're trying to PR, should I fully lock in? I always have something. So like music or like a video in the background. Oh, Jordan 44, thank you for the prime sub. I don't know if I said that already, if I forgot. If I forgot, I'm very sorry.
In relation to OS, I do have one video idea, and I kind of like don't want to play that game anymore. But my one idea is kind of playing a single map in the way that Geometry Dash players play maps, where they just like get good at these tiny sections, and then slowly, eventually, they become able to do the whole thing without making a mistake. And I wanted to do that for like an old map that had a lot of aura. So for me, it was probably going to be image material. I don't know if anybody finds that impressive anymore, but it would be a cool achievement in my own eyes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if I have the weeding software anymore. But my setup was like 0.2 actuation on WASD and then 0.5 on everything else. Rapid trigger at the most sensitive, like possible setting. No, so my plan for it is to kind of set up the dichotomy of like shimmy technique versus Bardos technique. And then I want to talk about Renzi because I feel like he was kind of overshadowed by shimmy, but explain what he's trying to say properly, and then talk about my issues with both Renzi's video because I have a couple, and then also Bardos's video. And I also want to discuss other aiming techniques as well. So like VDIM, Matty thresholding, corporate surf, sensitivities cascading. So I have a lot to try and I have a lot to kind of get through in that video. So I don't know when it'll be happening, but yeah, that's the plan roughly. Any info on the repo? Is it the one that we were actually told about?
Yes.
Okay.
How much are you allowed to say?
I don't know. I know that
it's cool.
It exists and that it is pretty cool and interesting and I like it.
It's innovative.
It's innovative. Something I haven't seen before. Not a cloth pad, not a Shirinkai.
Dun dun dun. Not a hard pad either.
No.
Something entirely different.
Something evil and sinister, perhaps.
I was looking at a Diabolical Rogue the other day, and I heard they like ported the original Diabolical, wanted to see it, couldn't find anything, but I found this old video I saw a year ago. Some guy named Zero Hoots. Actually a really solid video, good sniper player. But in the midst of his frag video, I just see Unleashed JP, who is like representative for Artisan getting owned in the middle of it.
It's funny. How much storage space? Okay, this is a bit funny. I'll show this. This much. This is my storage solution. I want to swap this drive out for a 8 terabyte and then probably this one out for a 2 terabyte. In terms of just clips, I don't have that much. Relatively speaking, okay? There's not...
That's like 3 years of clips though, right?
8 years?
8 years?
Yeah.
Well, you're doing good then.
From
Jesus.
2018.
Riley has a whole 7 terabyte drive filled from 2 years.
I don't know what she's doing.
And you're recording at 120.
I am. I'm very diligent with my storage. And then my projects folder is probably not small either. Wait, it's
not that bad, yeah.
Is it the videos folder this big? I forget. There's one of these that's like huge. Yep, it's this one. Okay. I do, yeah. H265. I think I'm doing okay though, all things considered.
You said like, I finally met somebody who's worse for storage than me. And I think you are like top 1% of storage solutions.
No, it's bad.
You have TDAR. What even is that?
I'm not showing my old drive, but I just have like random stuff on like the root of the drive because I didn't know what I was doing back then. And I'm still using like a hard drive from 2018. Could shakiness setting because of my fast gates and mouse pad? Probably. In that case, it would be what? You not feeling like you're in control and then over tensing to compensate. You can also have shakiness from the opposite where you have to like fight the static friction to continue movements. So...
Or your pad is just crazy fast.
Yeah. What game do you play and enjoy the most? Right now, it's probably... No, screw FPS games. It's Bloodborne or Slay the Spire.
It's not Witcher?
Oh, Witcher 3's been pretty good, actually. FPS is probably what you mean. I'm going to say Overwatch 2. I like the finals, but it's not in a good spot right now, so... What Ascension? I've done A20 all characters.
A28 all characters.
True.
Can't forget the H.
The other day, so few of you will understand. I saw a video that was beating Slay the Spire strike only ironclad. So You can only use cards with the word strike in it, no blocking. And I'm like, oh, this seems fun. I'm going to try it. I did it twice in a row, and I don't know how.
One of them was like,
I got really lucky.
One of them was like, as soon as I saw the challenge, like, yeah, get Necro, get Perfected Strike, you win.
And that's what happened.
That's what happened. And the second one, I don't know, it was just kind of clean.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened. So, all you Slay the Spire appreciators out there will appreciate that, I hope. Thanks for deleting General Anima. You guys looking forward to the Battlefield 6 reveal? Ooh.
With bated
I
breath.
am intrigued to see more. Let's put it that way. You should do Roost. I think I have what? Oh, I got 3, I think. 3. I did Ironclad, Silent, Defect, and Lost on Watcher. I'm too noob. But I'm not good enough to do like long rotating A20 win streaks.
Can I tell the story of the Gundam player who's good at Spire?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
I'll
answer questions in chat. Sorry for the time being.
There was a dude in Gundam Evolution who was like huge ego, ranked really high, played a character that was like kind of a strange Gundam specific skill set with rockets and mines and things like that. He was a good player, but he had like his huge ego about not playing hit scan. So there was one time I queued into his stack, and I was playing really well, but I still lost because it's a stack. And at the end of it, there's like an MVP screen, and I got it, and he's pissed because this guy's just running around doing hit scan. So I look into who this guy is, and I find out that he has the world record win streak on A20 Heart for the Watcher. I'm like, fuck. I want to hate this guy, but that's so cool.
Do you recommend playing kovaaks to improve? I do. I think it is worth the money. I think you get your money's worth. I feel like I have. The community resources available for kovaaks are a lot better than for AimLabs. So, hang on. I need to scroll up and find your message. It's cropping itself. I think you're talking about like AimLab versus kovaaks, in which case I believe there is a fundamental limitation in AimLab's physics that prevent it from having as good tracking scenarios as in kovaaks. And I don't really know how to put it into words. It's like the bots can't make parabolic motions. They don't have natural deceleration and acceleration. It just kind of snaps between states. Whereas if you watch like an airbot, for example, it has a very parabolic strokes, and that isn't possible in AimLab to my knowledge. I have never seen it, so...
I don't understand how the input can be that bad.
Yeah, I don't get that either. I really don't like how AimLab feels to play. What are my thoughts on glass mouse pads?
Oh my god.
Controversial opinion. I think they are... Okay, I'm gonna... Gut reaction is to be like, I hate them. I cannot stand them. Using them makes me grumpy. To be a bit more collected with my opinion, I think they are a bit overrated at the moment, and I think they are misunderstood. I don't think they're like objectively harder or more skillful than cloth pads. I think they emphasize different skills, and I don't like how a lot of people who like use glass pads seem to have this like perception of like, this is more skillful because I'm using a glass mouse pad. My potential is higher. I'm raising my potential. I don't think you should use one for that reason at all. I think if you like how it feels, you should use it. It's better at some things. It's worse at other things.
One thing I will say that it is like pretty objectively more specialized than cloth.
I agree.
Cloth is very rare to limit you in like almost any type of aim, especially if it's not like a super slow cloth pad. But there are types of aim that glass you'll have to like work around.
Yeah, and I mean, you can work like flicking technique, you can work through it, but there are very few people who can match like a good like cloth player on glass, for example.
For sure.
But have you tried the Harriet? I have.
We hate it. I really like the guys behind Lock On.
Yeah, they seem nice.
They're super nice.
How long do you usually spend editing a video? I have tracked this. It's between 50 to 100 hours like working on the video.
Have you thought of trying the Breeze V2 by Retrofat? Yes. I will try it, even though I wish for their downfall very slightly.
Did you already try the new VT version of the OP1? I do. It's actually, this is funny. The OP1 I'm using now has the top shell of my old OP1, so I didn't have to swap the grips. And the base of the new OP1, it feels identical to me. The only big difference is the scroll wheel. So I don't really think it's worth upgrading to, but you know, if you haven't got the OP1, it is just like a straight upgrade. So yeah. Oh, let's talk about the zeromouse for a little. Is the hand cam gonna work? It works. Check it out. Ta-da, zeromouse. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is Optimum Tech's mouse. I have been using it for most of today, and you gave it a go as well.
Give it a little go.
So we have two pretty differing perspectives here. I don't know, you're coming at it from the angle of like someone who's used a lot of fingertip mice, and you mean them, you really like them.
Yeah.
I'm coming at this from the perspective of someone who doesn't, and who uses full-size mice. So we do have different perspectives. We'll go on that in a second. I want to talk about this because I saw T. John's message. Did you hear about the guy who broke their zeromouse on a flick? I saw the post and it was sent to me because I was swapping mouse pads because I had an issue that I'll talk about later, and I had to swap mouse pads to fix it. And when moving the mouse pad off of my desk, it hit the mouse, knocked it on the floor, and broke this. And I don't know if it'll show on the camera, but it's glued back together.
Thank God I bought glue like 2 weeks ago.
I was so upset with myself. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? How did I drop it already? So it feels, I will counter that by saying it feels very stable in the hand. I don't think I could like snap it or like press too hard and have it break. But you know, this is not, you can't like drop it or anything like that and expect it to be completely fine. On the plus side, it does seem to be relatively easy to prepare, so
Depends how it breaks, I guess.
yeah, I mean, if it snaps in
The
the
mouse
middle,
button's coming off is a problem.
yeah, that seemed bad.
Worth mentioning though, that was the mod kit. So
True.
I'm pretty sure he printed himself. No, maybe not printed himself, but like it's the old version basically.
Yeah. Would you like to touch on your
You should
thoughts
talk about
on
your
this?
issues first and then your experience.
Okay, so my first problem, and honestly main problem, isn't actually that it's like 1/5 of a mouse. It's these little pillars here. If you see, they look a bit weird, a bit dented out of shape. Yeah.
Full screen camera. Do you have one?
Boom.
Enhance.
I don't know if this will pick up. I had to file these down because when I press down on the buttons, it presses them down, and on a like soft mouse pad, it actually presses into the pad. So I would be like tracking, and then I would feel it like scratch against the mouse pad, and it's like, well, what do I do? So Zero Mid fixed that problem, plus like filing it down a little.
It's an interesting little oversight though. Because he
Yeah.
does mainly play glass. I can see how that would like get through the cracks.
That was my first problem. Yeah, Optimum Mouse is built for glass. You won't have that issue at all. The next problem was, yeah, it breaking on the floor. And then my only other real problem is that I really struggle to engage my arm when using a mouse like this. And it's already a bit of a weakness on mine. I do tend to rely a lot more on my fingertips for movements than I probably should. But here I would like follow through with my wrist until I couldn't anymore. You know, I found it a lot tougher to kind of swap between muscle groups. But where is it? I will look for it later. It's on the Discord, right? Hang on. I did find it pretty effective for like fingertip movements generally. I thought I was playing pretty well with it. I might put out a post tomorrow with like first impressions, but yeah, I felt pretty sharp with it for these kind of scenarios. But like Smoothbot, no, I couldn't do it.
Is this being shown, by the way? Is there a webcam?
Oh, there's a webcam in the way. Thank you. There you go. You all can see now. Because in like a contact points, do you feel the need to squeeze it super tight with fingertips? I don't actually. So
I think that would be partially from the ergo,
yeah,
which we can touch on in a moment.
Okay, you can touch on that actually. I think this should be. This is your expertise now.
Okay. She was using an OP1 fingertip mod, similar to the one by Cool Mods, where it's just like the back part of it gets cut off, right? And it created this really bad tension issue to compensate for the lack of palm support. So you lose stability, compensated for it with the finger tension. And that's pretty common for, new fingertip mice users. But this mouse, I don't know if it's exactly the solution to that, but it has a few things that make it different from a lot of other fingertip mice, like this one, for example. It's not quite symmetrical, which is obvious from the placement of these, but the way it's angled is also very subtle, but it's something I've wanted for a long time. I'm a little bit jealous that he did it first. So the buttons are the main one, where the left one is higher than the right. And then that kind of aligns with the curvature on the pinky. It's pretty cool. So the main issue that I have with this mouse is that it's designed very, very specifically for Optimum's grip. So this is the way that I hold fingertip mice, right? Where I thumb and ring finger are kind of in line with the sensor. And if I do that on the zeromouse, there's no paddle here. If I do choose to put my thumb in the paddle, my index and middle fingers can barely reach the buttons. So I definitely respect him hyper optimizing for his one specific use case, because it is like a passion project after all. But it is one specific use case.
Anecdotally, I have been able to use it, but I do think I would prefer it if this was higher.
Mm-hmm. That's what really gets me, is that like this would add what, a gram to just like fill out this side. But I do agree with you. The build quality is much better than all of the other skeleton mice that I've used.
And the coating
and the coating, yeah, the material's really good. There's no like crazy button wobble that's on so many fingertip mice. The M8K, if you squish the sides, you can feel it like compress, which is always terrifying. You can't really do that here. And generally, like it's very thoughtfully designed, so I appreciate it for that. However, like the shape is kind of a deal breaker for me. The only thing that has got me questioning, like maybe this is interesting, is that when I put my thumb like all the way on the edge here and use the front of the paddle as a pivot point, like this is an experience you cannot get out of any other mouse, where you have like an edge to work with. So I need to experiment with that more in game.
What if you were to get a popsicle stick, put it here, and then tape it to the mouse, so you can hold it like that?
I have to try that.
No, that was a joke.
Before I give up on the mouse, I have to try that.
Like extending it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have enjoyed using it. I have had like a good time testing it out. I don't see myself sticking with it, but it definitely has been like a worthwhile experience for me. I do plan on making a video about it actually, kind of talking about, what it is like, why I feel like I can get most of the benefits on the OP1 without using something like this, but I don't know. You should make your own versions for your specific grips. That's like a spoiler.
Did we talk about that? We're
probably
not allowed to,
spoiler
right?
warning that. I don't think we're allowed to talk about this. But the fact that we're not allowed to talk about the answer to your question is a bit of an answer to your question. So,
I think if I don't implicate the company, I can kind of talk about one of the ideas.
Okay, and I can't at all because it would implicate the company.
Yes.
So you can go.
So I have one idea. I'm doing like 2 or 3 fingertip mouse-based projects right now on YouTube, and one issue that I'm realizing is that there's not really great ways to try fingertip that aren't at least $50 to $100, right? So recently I tried out a bunch of fingertip mod kits, and I realized that like going through a printing service, like buying a file, get the printing service, is pretty cheap. You can get it for like $30 if you already have the PCB for like the OP1 8K. So my idea is like, let's design the safest possible fingertip mouse and then give away the file for free. So people can try it for like between $10 and $30. I think that would be really cool, since it's something that's so hit or miss that I'm like terrified to recommend it to people. And so far, my idea is to make it sort of like the X2F in the sense where it's full coverage of buttons, have the sides not curl in at the back. It's kind of like still just those like wings, like that.
Is the camera still on?
Oh, is it on?
Okay,
it is,
that's
okay.
good.
Except it would be thinner and more OP1 adjacent, so a little bit more curved and just thinner generally. I think that would be a really good way to try fingertip. Because like the OP1 would be a great fingertip mouse if the hump wasn't so high.
This is funny. I was in the middle of the meeting to organize a project with the company, and I'm like, wait a minute, that would be perfect for this company. So I just asked you in the middle of the call, like, hey, come over here. I have an idea. So that was pretty funny. Superlight to hyperlight be a dramatic switch. I think the shape difference will be weight difference noticeable, but not so much. So, yeah, sure. I'm not like a crazy nerd about that stuff, but if you're keen, with the smoothie. Okay, I think that's all the mouse discussion.
My keyboard. No, I'm joking.
Okay, we should full zeromouse review. For me, quite a while. My next video is on the 600 Hz Zowie monitor, then one about like aim translation, probably one about mice, probably one about aiming techniques, and then maybe is the zeromouse review. So it's quite a while down the pipeline.
I should have my thoughts out in probably, I will say safely 2 weeks.
That's fair, I think. So you'll have a review, just not from me. You'll have a much better review, actually.
I don't think so.
I do.
Most people aren't people who are already using fingertip mice, though, who want this mouse.
Next round, that episode. So,
Sorry.
we're getting murky on for that one. So I've got to compile the questions from Twitter and organize some, mix the time zones. So I can't say. I don't know. Probably at least 2 to 3 weeks from now.